Hotspur wearing all black tops and shorts, and Fulham on their way out as well from the corner under the cottage here at Craven Cottage, the home of Fulham Football Club. Waves to the fans as the players come out. Big expectations tonight for both clubs. A delayed kickoff. It's going to be worth waiting for. It's always worth waiting for on game night on Talksport. Fulham Spurs. Arsenal are top and flying, favourites for the title. Tough times for Spurs. Lose this, Fulham go above them, and those tough times get tougher. Here's your commentary team on Talksport. Former Spurs, Fulham and England midfielder Danny Murphy alongside your commentator Sam Matterface.
Well, at the beginning of August, when the sun shone and skin was bronzed, London rivals Fulham and Tottenham had differing ambitions. Fulham wanted to stay in the Premier League, Tottenham wanted to mount a title challenge. But as the capital woke up frostbitten and flights out of Heathrow were grounded by the lowest temperatures in a decade, neither of those aims seemed relevant this morning. Spurs have been frozen out of the title race after a dreadful spell that has seen them concede 21 goals in 10 games and lose 7 of their last 13 league matches. Fulham have 31 points after 20 games and are snowed under with plaudits. They've already got 3 more points than the whole of their last Premier League campaign. And Fulham fans, if they win tonight, will start speculating about a European tour, while Spurs fans will start worrying about whether or not it's worth getting their passports renewed. Let me bring you the two teams, starting with Fulham in white shirts and black shorts tonight. Bernd Leno is their goalkeeper. Kenny Tete is the right back. Diop, Ream and Anthony Robinson make up the back four. João Palhinha and Harrison Reed are the two holders in midfield. Up front, it's Alexander Mitrovic, flanked by Bobby De Cordova-Reid and by Willian, who scored here on his last appearance against Chelsea. For Tottenham Hotspur, Hugo Lloris is their goalkeeper. They're unchanged from the side that were beaten by Manchester City on Thursday. The back three is Romero and Dyer, with Davis playing as the left-sided centre-half. Emerson Royale is the right wing-back, Ivan Perisic the left wing-back, and then it is Emile Højbjerg and Bentancur in the centre of midfield, with Kulusevski and Heung-min Son flanking Harry Kane in attack. The bench, Marek Rodak is the reserve goalkeeper for Fulham. Kurtzova, Tosin, Harry Wilson, Tom Kearney, Manor Solomon, Nat Chalobah, Daniel James and the former Tottenham loanee Carlos Vinicius. For Tottenham, Fraser Forster, Matt Doherty, Skip, Sanchez, Richarlison, Sessegnon, Tanganga, Clement Longley and Yves Bissouma are on the bench. Our referee is Paul Tierney tonight. Spurs supporters are wondering how long their boss would stay right now. The uncertainty that goes with employing Antonio Conte has got to the point where something is more trouble than it's worth. Reports this week that contract talks have been iced only serve to underscore those concerns. Fulham in white, Spurs in a very odd blue kit. Well, I'm not sure it is blue actually, it might well be purple bodied with black sleeves and black shorts and bright yellow trim, steward yellow trim. And they will get us off and underway when play eventually starts here. We are delayed because of transport problems. It is supposed to begin at 8:15 tonight. We are very much already past that. It is 16 minutes past 8 here. The latest football match kickoff in the Premier League this season incoming, Danny. And when you've been preparing for a game that kicks off at 8 o'clock, you get out there and it's delayed again. What effect does that have? There's a problem here, I think, with the communication with the referee.
15 or 20 minutes isn't a problem. I once had a quarter-final at Villa Park with Liverpool that got delayed nearly 2 hours, and that was while we were changed and ready to go like an hour. But there was a problem on the system, electricity, with the ticketing. Yeah. And long story short, it was nearly 2 hours later when we kicked off. That was a real problem because all your preparation was done in terms of food, liquid, warm up, ready to go, and then you get told, and the thing was, it kept getting delayed. We didn't. It was a really difficult one, mentally as well as physically. This one for 20 minutes shouldn't make any difference at all, really. The nutritionalists, the sports science guys might give you a little top up on some carbs or whatever, depending on what you want, what you don't want. But they're so fit now, they're so ready that this little delay isn't going to be a problem. If it goes on another 20 minutes, half an hour, then yeah, we'd probably start looking at some drops in terms of your levels.
Paul Tierney is over on the far touchline in between the two benches opposite us in front of the Riverside stand, and he is being rewired by a technician as we try and get him ready for the level of communication that's required to operate VAR. That seems to have been completed now, so he has called over Harry Kane and he's going to have a word with the Tottenham captain. He's actually collecting all of the balls and making sure that the right match ball is ready to start proceedings here at Craven Cottage, which isn't full, it can't be full because the top tier of the Riverside stand is not able to be fully opened yet. The middle plank of that huge second tier is empty. Only the two sides of that top tier are populated. The whole of the bottom tier is. It's very expensive to sit in there. They tell me it's around about £100 a ticket to sit at the bottom of that stand. The crowd are ready and they are urging Fulham to continue their trend of performing particularly well under the lights here at Craven Cottage, and Tottenham Hotspur hoping to get back to some sort of form. Boy, do they need it. Antonio Conte's team have been in dreadful form in recent times, a real drop-off since the autumn. How they need to rekindle that form from the beginning of the campaign. We're off and underway, live on Talksport, with Tottenham Hotspur in their mauve jerseys with fluorescent yellow trim, black sleeves and black shorts, getting us off and underway and attacking the goal away to our right. The Hammersmith end, and Fulham in white shirts, black shorts, attacking the Putney end away to our left-hand side, the neutral end. The boys hoisted towards goal after a tackle on halfway. Eric Dyer connecting with the ball, looping towards the goal away to our right-hand side. It landed on the roof of Bernd Leno's net. He panicked a little bit there.
Yeah, he did. I'll tell you what's really fascinating. Tottenham have gone really high on the press, wing-backs high, left a 3v3 at the back. William Pereira and Mitrovic against the Spurs back three. Keeper has to go long, play a 3v3, and he has. Exactly what I'd have done.
Leno smacks the ball upfield towards Mitrovic, who's been marshalled by Dyer, who prods a header away to halfway. Inside the centre circle, it's shifted out towards the left, and Perisic immediately tries to release Son through the middle. Headed away by Ream, and then picked up towards the midpoint of the Fulham half. Harrison Reed chopping it over the top for De Cordova-Reid to chase into the right corner. Across comes Ben Davies, the Welsh international, and it goes out over on the far side. Bearing in mind, someone who you've represented these clubs with distinction, both of them, tell me how important it is the way these two teams start tonight, especially with Spurs' fragile confidence.
I think for Spurs it's more important they start well, because there've been so many games where they've been behind early in a game.
Harrison Reed into the centre from a right wing position, right close to the touchline on the far side, but it's very close to Hugo Lloris, who drops on to the edge of the 6-yard box and gobbles it into his chest. 0-0.
It's going to be absolutely fascinating if Spurs decide to do that every time Fulham have the ball at the back, by the way.
And they've given the ball away again, and it's flicked out by Willian towards the left side. And Anthony Robinson, the USA international, is scampering down the touchline, trying to take on Emerson Royale. Gets past him, produces a cross into the centre, tapped away by Dyer from inside the 6-yard box rather nonchalantly, and Kulusevski tries to bring it clear. Emerson Royale then takes no chances, kicks it out into the first couple of rows of the Johnny Haynes stand. We are sitting about 10 rows back from the touchline, right on the halfway line here in the Johnny Haynes stand. Danny Murphy and I watching on as Fulham go on the attack. 2 minutes 15 seconds played, goalless on Talksport.
Went past Emerson Royale too easy there, Robinson. Bit worrying that for Spurs. It was just a simple touch and sprint past him. He wasn't ready for it.
He is nicknamed the Jedi, Anthony Robinson, because he's obsessed with Star Wars. I think he tried a Jedi mind trick there on Emerson Royale.
I've never watched it.
I can't believe that.
No, honestly.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, deadly. Never seen one.
That is a failure on your part in terms of
like sci-fi.
Popular culture.
Yeah.
Ball is up towards the midpoint of the Fulham half of the field. Tottenham trying to build an attack. So any of the jokes that I've got for Anthony Robinson are not going to land with you.
I wouldn't get them, no. I was too busy out playing football, mate. I wasn't staying in watching Star Wars.
I spent quite a lot of time crafting some today. What a waste that was.
Crack on. The listeners might like them.
Someone might get them. Here is Romero up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. You're listening to Talksport. We're live on game night in another London derby for Fulham. They won their last one here, and Fulham looking to win to continue a run that has seen them take 19 points from their last 30. Tottenham looking to arrest a slide that has seen them lose 6 of their last 10 Premier League games. Here's Emerson Royal, who scored against Manchester City in a 5-2 defeat on Talksport on Thursday. Infield he goes to Bentancur, whose return couldn't have been timed any better. And he's certainly an integral part of this Tottenham midfield. Ben Davies flies the ball from left, looking for Emerson Royal on the right, but it's too heavy and it drifts behind the goal away for a goal kick away to our right-hand side.
It looks like what Spurs are thinking is get their wing-backs really high and wide early, and with the front three, that should create a 5v4. The problem is with that, it leaves a 3v3, which we're seeing now. Keeper gets the ball, goes long again. Good decision.
Up towards Willian, who flicks it on halfway for Mitrovic, who's chasing with Bentancur. Bentancur gets there first, puts it out of play. It's away for a throw-in to Fulham. Level with the edge of the 18-yard box, away to our left, on the Fulham left, and Robinson gets the ball off the Serbian. He turns it back to halfway. Tim Ream, the USA international, Fulham captain, with his hair tied in a bun behind his back, sends the ball across the back four via Issa Diop, who's started now 8 of the last 11 games for Fulham. He's in the team tonight at the expense of Tosin Adarabioyo.
Those decisions from the Fulham keeper, exactly what I'm talking about. Not obsessed with playing out just for the sake of it. There's a 3v3 up top. I'm going long. We'll get the knockdowns. We'll play in their half. Exactly what I was talking about earlier in terms of adapting your tactics depending on what the opposition do. And that's the manager that allows them to do that.
Spurs fans away to our left-hand side already singing Antonio Conte's name. Willian down the left side, hugging the touchline, coming infield. Quickly shifts it on to Harrison Ree. On to Palhinha, who sweeps the ball out towards the far side. The Fulham right, he approaches the penalty area, Decordova-Ree, then produces a cross in towards the near post, headed away by Romero before it could reach Mitrovic, but it comes back to Decordova-Ree, who thrashes it goalwards. There might have been a connection in the middle of that 18-yard box, which has yielded a foul, and it's going to be a free kick to Tottenham just short of that 18-yard line. It remains 0-0, and another cross coming in from a wide area, which caused a bit of grief for Tottenham Hotspur, and Fulham do that. They're great at getting crosses into the box. No one gets more goals from crosses into the area than Fulham this season.
And why wouldn't you when you got Mitrovic in there? It's a good ball. It was great header actually from Romero. But when you play 5 at the back, as soon as the ball goes wide, your wing back. Whoa!
Oh, that was a little bit dodgy from Leno, playing it into the edge of the area as he was trying to clear from the back. They're playing out, and Palhinha got rushed. It's a late challenge on Mitrovic from Dyer as the ball goes up towards the halfway line, and Mitrovic slides on the floor. His shorts go right up to the inside of his groin.
From a Spurs perspective, your wing-backs, when the ball's wide, they can free themselves to go and stop the cross because you've got 3 centre-halves. You don't want to be narrow. You don't want to be too narrow when the wide men have got it because it's too easy to cross the ball.
And that is something that Fulham thrive upon. 0-0 here, and we play just over 6.5 minutes live on Talksport. Tomorrow morning, the breakfast show is back. Sam Allardyce is on the breakfast show with Laura and Ali. Teddy Sheringham was on this morning. He was cracking this morning, by the way, Teddy.
I heard a little bit. Yeah, he's a great guy. Very intelligent man.
Ball over towards the far side, looking for Romero, looking for Perisic. Goes out towards the area that the benches are occupying in the bottom half of that Riverside stand, and it's out for a Fulham throw-in. Fulham difficult to beat here. They've only lost twice on their own patch all season. And in Andreas Pereira, Danny, they have a player who has thrived since moving to Craven Cottage. His link-up play, his distribution, his eye for goal has been incredibly important for Fulham this season, and his work off the ball as well.
His fitness levels are fantastic. He sets the press. He's tidy in his play. Do you know what he does really well is running off the ball. He's got great desire to make runs in behind people and open up the game. His all-round game's been superb. He's been a snip. Sensational sign. The manager couldn't have expected him to play at this level. He's been absolutely superb every time I've watched him play. Need to keep him fit. He adds real energy and creativity to the team.
Did a big interview with Dave Kidd in The Sun earlier today, in which he talked about the need to having to play in his rightful position of number 10 on a regular basis. Fulham pressing high up inside the Spurs half, have won the ball, but inside their opponent's territory. It's picked up by Willian, who turns away from the byline and shuffles it back towards Paulinho. Looks for the return for Pereira, whose good feet produce a cross towards the far post, but it's a little bit too heavy. And after us giving him the big build-up, that delivery was a little bit wild from Andreas Pereira, and it drifts over into the Tottenham fans over on the far side of the Hammersmith end, away to our left-hand side. This is Talksport, and it is Fulham 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Live commentary tonight coming from Craven Cottage. We've got lots of live commentaries upcoming over the course of the next few days. The Carabao Cup semi-final tomorrow night, and Southampton Newcastle is live on Talksport. That's the first leg of Manchester United semi-final away at Forest is on Wednesday night. Again, Tottenham trying to play out from the back. Fulham pressing high up in opposition territory.
Really good
and
intent.
They're causing them real problems, aren't they, when they're trying to get out?
Yeah, that's why I was talking about mixing your game up, whoever you are. If there's a really good press, then you've got to go long, especially if you've got Harry Kane.
Willian hugging the touchline on the wide left position for Fulham, who have pretty much dominated possession of the football since we kicked off here around about 19 minutes past 8 tonight. Bit of a delay. Robinson has robbed Romero, who was too casual, onto Reed inside the area from Mitrovic, blocked by Ben Davis, who'd followed him in. Back out towards the wide left position. Fulham on the attack with Willian. Then Andreas Pereira, whose cross hits the arm of Bentancur. The referee doesn't agree. It's not handball, and they play on, but Spurs have lost it once again. It's been picked off by Paulinho, then given towards Decordova-Reid, whose shot comes off the goalkeeper, who spoons it away out towards the near side, and Tottenham struggle to clear. And then Emerson Royale is fortunate about the challenge that comes in from Willian, and poor Tierney's interpretation of it. It's going to be a free kick in the right full-back area, but Spurs just creaking a little bit.
Great tackle from Paulinho, doing what he does, spotting danger, robbed the ball off Son, and again they were on the attack. Referee missed a blatant handball just before that from Bentancur. I don't know how, he wasn't even that far away. There's a decent strike.
Paulinho, he's another one, isn't he? At the heart of that midfield, he goes about his work in a tidy, effective and quiet manner, but he's crucial to Fulham, especially when pressing high up the field, because he just nicks in, wins the ball really well. I saw him last season playing for Sporting in the Portuguese League, in fact playing in the Champions League. He was terrific.
He's been brilliant. He's been really good, Sam, and actually his use of the ball's good as well.
Yeah, he's scored 1 or 2 goals already as well, hasn't he? 3
good in the air on the set plays. Yeah.
Here is Tim Ream getting the ball back to his goalkeeper, Bernd Leno, who's been another smart bit of recruitment. He's kept 4 clean sheets in his last 9 Premier League games. He's launched that ball upfield, and Dyer was backpedaling under the pressure being put upon him by Alexander Mitrovic. Romero's given the ball away cheaply to Harrison Reed. Højbjerg's gone wiring into 2 tackles, and a free kick has been given 10 yards back from the edge of the D. And Paul Tierney wants a quick word here with the Fulham captain, Tim Ream, just to have a quick word about quietening the rest of his team down, I think.
Oh, get on with it, ref. It's not all about you. What? You're not supposed to turn around and say, come on, ref, free kick. They're hardly in his face. It's 2 fouls in 5 seconds. They're allowed to say.
Well, Højbjerg very quickly out to challenge 2 Fulham players, the last of which was Decordova-Reid. He actually got quite combative in the first half against Manchester City last Thursday night, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, but he sort of faded in the dizzying second half, in which Tottenham crumbled to defeat, 2-0 up at half-time, which is a rarity for them because they never usually score in the first half. They never usually get going in the first half. They haven't got going here, really.
No, they haven't.
12 minutes gone, 0-0 the score at Craven Cottage on Talksport. It's Monday night, game night. Whenever there's a Premier League game on a Monday, it will be here on Talksport. Free kick dead centre of the Tottenham half, and Pereira's going to take it right-footed. He sends it through the wall, he bounces in front of Lloris and then just nestles right in the middle of his chest, and he manages to clear upfield.
Not his best ever, Pereira. Comfortable for Lloris. Yeah, we talked earlier about variation in play. Tottenham, it's like, you know what, I don't want to go long and play some percentages because we're better than that. It doesn't work. It's not the way football works. You're under pressure at the Cottage. Get up the pitch, go long a couple of times, use your 6-foot free striker and play off him.
And they know they're at the Cottage tonight. Beautiful setting here on the banks of the River Thames in West London. SW6. They share a postcode with Chelsea, but they are certainly overperforming their more illustrious neighbours this season. They beat them here a couple of Thursdays ago on Talksport, and they are looking to go into the top 5 tonight, Fulham. Here is Pierre-Emile Højbjerg out towards the left to Heung-min Son, who struggled this season to really rekindle his form of yesteryear. Out to the left, and Perisic, and then it's given back to Dyer by Bentancur, but it was Pereira who was right up in front of Bentancur, in his face, looking to win the ball, and Paulinho again causing problems for Dyer. Kulusevski just about escapes, comes out to Kane right side, his cross is blocked by Tim Ream. It's out for the first Tottenham corner of the game.
Nice sharp play down the right side from Tottenham. It had to be as well, because the press was really good. The intensity is good from Fulham. Going to have to play well, Spurs, to play through that press if they can maintain it.
13 minutes gone, and Tottenham have their first corner, and Tottenham throwing up Harry Kane, Christian Romero, Ben Davies, Eric Dyer, who has had especially started the season with a good goal scoring record. It's aimed towards the far post, it's over the head of all of them, headed away, comes back to Højbjerg, hits it through the middle of a crowded penalty area, takes a flick off Romero and goes over the top of the crossbar and out into the Fulham fans in the Hammersmith end, away to our right hand side, and it's picked up by Bernd Leno, and they'll start again, this time a little shorter, out to Anthony Robinson, then quickly into Mitrovic, who's being followed everywhere by Eric Dyer. Those two are going to have a running battle tonight, but when the ball comes to Andreas Pereira, he picks it out of the sky so elegantly and uses it well. On to Harrison on the halfway line, then on to the right side, and Kenny Tete back to De Cordova-Reid, and then with no real option in front of him, De Cordova-Reid goes back to the halfway line, and Issa Diop back to De Cordova-Reid, who's hugging the touchline right side. He's about 2 or 3 yards in from the right touchline on the far side from us, and Fulham in possession here, looking to try and pick their way through. Tottenham Hotspur just sitting off them a little bit as they look to build up at Craven Cottage. 0-0 the score. Paulinho, just on the edge of the centre circle, drifts the ball out towards the near touchline. It's met by Emerson Royal, heads it away, but one back by Pereira, and Willian takes it on, runs to the edge of the penalty area, gets bundled to the floor by Bentancur. Referee doesn't give a foul, says that was a coming together, and Tottenham turn the ball over and look to break upfield, but Emerson Royal gives it away so cheaply. Into Mitrovic it goes. Emerson Royal looks to win it back. He dived in on Mitrovic and got a bit of a whack there. Paulinho went right through Emile Højbjerg, and the ball breaks towards the far side, and the referee spotted that challenge, but Tottenham are coming forward even though they've got 2 men down inside their own half. Well, Dyer has played the ball to Perisic. Perisic has then decided to stop it, and a yellow card has come out for Paulinho for his challenge on Pierre-Emile Højbjerg.
Nothing wrong with Højbjerg. I hate seeing that. I like Højbjerg. He's a good lad and he's a good player, but I hate that. He didn't even catch him. Jumping around trying to get him a yellow. It's a silly challenge from Paulinho, don't get me wrong. Sliding in. Come on. Look, rolling around like he's absolutely... Oh, there's a shock. He's fine. Look, on his feet.
Paulinho's got a yellow card. No stranger to a yellow card. He was the first player to get 5 this season.
It was a silly tackle, but I just hate seeing that rolling around like you've just broke your leg when actually you know you're fine. You're doing it to try and get the yellow card for an opposition. It's been a bugbear of mine for years.
You like a robust challenge, don't you?
I just think if you get hurt, fine. But if you're all right, get up. The only reason you're exaggerating the injury is to get someone stitched up.
Well, it was interesting to listen to Antonio Conte yesterday. He wants his team to harden up. He wants them to be a bit nastier and to fight a little bit more.
That wasn't it. And he's tougher than that, Højbjerg. He's a strong lad. He's a big, tough guy. They don't need to do that. Embarrass yourself.
Emerson Royal has it on the near side and goes back to Romero, and then all the way back to the Tottenham goalkeeper Hugo Lloris, who has been in erratic form in recent weeks. The Spurs have lost a third of all of their games this campaign, and they are on unsteady ground when it comes to qualifying for the Champions League next season. The way they capitulated in the second half on Thursday night will be of most concern, I think, to Antonio Conte. His team have given the ball away again. Lloris had it just moments ago, and then it went out to the far side, the left, and very quickly it was back with a white shirt. Harrison Reed into Kenny Tete and gets it back again. Reed travels down the right touchline, pushing it further on for Mitrovic to chase with Dyer. Dyer gets something on it, couldn't stop it from going out of play, gives away a corner, and he knows he's in a fight over there, Eric Dyer, and he's absolutely furious, and he goes over towards the far side and has a word with Kon Hatzidakis, who is the assistant over on the far side. He's not happy at all about that.
He's a bit lucky there, Mitrovic. A little push in Dyer's back, isn't it? It's every right to contest that. Got to switch on and concentrate. Out corner coming in.
Pereira's going to take it. And they do cause problems from corners. It's aiming towards Mitrovic, who does get the header on, but it comes out of the penalty area towards Harrison Reed. Further clear by the Swede, Kulusevski. And then he engages with Robinson, who was favourite for that ball, and he's given it away. And then Son has been released down the right channel, but Bernd Leno has read it and come out very quickly off his line. I think Heung-min Son was probably in an offside position anyway, but it was well read by Bernd Leno, who took no chances.
Yeah, Robinson made a mistake. Kulusevski was on him quick. So what you don't want to do is give this Tottenham front three any opportunity. You've got to make them work for it.
They are deadly when they are in front of goal. They are overperforming on their XG by 9 goals this season. Only Manchester City are overperforming on that metric. That basically means they don't create as many chances as they score, really. They probably shouldn't score as many goals as they do, but they have got quality finishers with...
oh, don't start me on the XG.
Harry Kane. You don't like that either?
What do you mean either? Come on.
Here is Decordova-Reid out to the far side. In towards Harrison Reed on the volley from Decordova-Reid's cross. But his volley is stopped by Hugo Lloris in front of a crowd of players inside the 6-yard box. It was a swift, slick Fulham move. And the cross from the right-hand side was met really well by Harrison Reed. It was probably just a bit too close to the goalkeeper.
It was a good run down the right. He might have been offside. We won't know now because it didn't go in. But it's a brilliant ball from Pereira as it's pulled back to him. And Reed should score. It's a good run from midfield to get in there. Wasn't tracked.
It did take him 110 appearances to score his first Fulham goal, Harrison Reed, and then he scored a second 2 months later. But he's only ever scored 2 goals. He's not a regular goal scorer, let's just put it that way. The ball is loose on the halfway line. Tottenham have given it away again. Andreas Pereira picks it up halfway. He's tight to the touchline on the near side, the Fulham left. He turns it back to Robinson. And then once again, Fulham look to build from the back. We've played 20 minutes. You're listening to Talksport. And we are in the cold at Craven Cottage. Actually, it's not as cold today as it was yesterday. Yesterday, it was about -6 overnight. Unbelievable. Here is Mitrovic. Held the ball up brilliantly. Romero bullied into Pereira. It goes. Lovely sweep out to the far side. Decordova-Reid picks it up. He moves towards the angle of the penalty area. Runs into a bit of traffic. Goes out to the far side. Picked up by Kenny Tete. His cross into the box is a good one. Mitrovic was on his heels a little bit. Didn't get to that near post in time, and Romero managed to get it away. Good header.
Good defending from Romero again. Close to Mitrovic, exactly where he needs to be. And the right side. It was a decent ball in the box. Slick move again from Fulham. They bang at it.
Score is Fulham 0, Tottenham 0 on Talksport with Now Sports. And don't forget that with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Fulham Spurs live right now without a contract for $11.99. Search Now Sports 18+. Here's Eric Dyer. Tottenham again struggling to start that engine. Haven't got Harry Kane or Son into the game. Kulusevski's had a few more touches than those two, but not too many. And those two playing quite narrow behind Harry Kane, have had very little joy so far. Perisic playing high up on the left-hand side. We haven't seen anything from him so far in the game. And Emerson Royale's just had one foray down that right-hand side, which eventually yielded a corner for Spurs.
He plays backwards too often. Too negative with his play.
Not as negative as that. Given away by Bentancur straight to Willian. And then Anthony Robinson will mop up and play it into midfield. And then Paulinho weaves past 2 Mauve shirts, strides towards the halfway line, releases Willian, who gallops up towards the 18-yard box away to our left. He's attacking the Tottenham Hotspur goal. He's got support on the far side. His ball was a little bit ambitious, but it snuck past Son and reached Harrison Reed. He's looking to line up an effort here. Gets to the edge of the area, cracks a shot goalwards. Didn't really have much confidence in that effort, and Ben Davies got out and blocked it, and it comes out towards the near side. Referee says play on. Williams won the ball off Kulusevski. He's picked it up right footed, produced a cross. It comes off the back of Højbjerg and goes out for a throw-in down by the left-hand side corner flag. 0-0, but Fulham are at it.
Too quick, better on the 50-50s, wanting it more, quicker with the passing. Everything about Fulham's game is better.
Danny Murphy, the Fulham legend, is alongside us here tonight. Also represented Tottenham and Liverpool with distinction. And Crewe, obviously, as well.
Yes.
And Blackburn.
Good old days.
Watching on as two of his former clubs battle it out. Both of them in the top half of the table. Not something that's happened very often, actually. Especially with Fulham. They, especially in the last 10 years or so, whenever they've been in the Premier League, they've been scrapping towards the bottom of it. but they have delivered for their paying public this season more often than not. They've scored 18 Premier League home goals this campaign, and that is the club's best return after 10 home games in any Premier League season they've had.
Spurs have got to get some balls in behind the back four of Fulham. They've got to get some runners, whether it's the wing backs, whether it's Kulusevski or Son. It's too easy at the moment. Everything in front of the back four.
Here is Perisic into Son, who's trying to turn to release that ball forward.
Doesn't need to be in there, Son, Sam. I don't know why he's that deep. Does not need to be in there.
Paul Tierney's come to Højbjerg's rescue, because Højbjerg slipped on the edge of the centre circle, which meant the ball was going to sneak through to Willian. Prior to that, Son had been fouled. The referee had then called a foul and given a free kick. If he hadn't have done that, Fulham would have been away again. What do you make of this complete difference in having a much better second half than a first half from Tottenham Hotspur? Is that a tactic? Is that a plan from Antonio Conte?
No.
Are they just not ready?
It's always a reaction. It's the tactics create a negative mindset, and then when you're losing, you can play free because you've got nothing to lose, so you're going to get your best players just expressing themselves.
Look at the gap that Andreas Pereira's allowed to wander into, and he's charging forward now, releasing Mitrovic edge of the box, heavy touch, and that allowed Dyer to come across and hook it into the night sky. Brought down by Willian after a tussle on this near side. Romero, he was second favourite twice, and eventually Kulusevski emerges with the ball for Tottenham Hotspur. Son dabs it back to Bentancur. Immediately Reed is upon him, and it goes back to Christian Romero right on the cusp of his own 18-yard box, and Lloris will smash it downfield. Ream's going to win that header unchallenged. He heads it out towards the near side. Fulham have got it back again. We've played 25 minutes. You're listening to Talksport. Carabao Cup semi-finals coming on Tuesday and Wednesday night this week.
Sorry, Sam. The problem I see with Spurs at the moment, their width is, they're trying to get the wing-backs to give them their width. And Kulusevski and Son are coming in.
There's some width, and Mitrovic has got a header in on the near post, and he's flicked it towards Hugo Lloris's goal, and Lloris wasn't entirely comfortable with where that was heading. The offside flame may well have gone up and spared their blushes if it had nestled past him, but that cross from the right-hand side, Kenny Tete is so adept at doing that. He has 4 assists already this season, which should give you an indication of the type of football that he likes to play, and Mitrovic once again trying to cause problems for Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, I was just saying about the width of Spurs. They're trying to get the wing-backs really high to create width, but it means that Kulusevski and Son are more central and easier to pick up. If really you want to be getting Kulusevski and Son wide on the ball to try and have a go at the full-backs. And Son's coming deep centrally, not getting any space.
Quick free kick taken by Fulham, and Robinson skipped past the challenge of Royale. Into the centre it goes. It scoots through the penalty area, which had been vacated. There was no one in there wearing white, and it comes back out the other side. Now it's back in again. A bump on Mitrovic. It bumped up and maybe hit a hand there. No, the referee didn't see anything, and it was cleared away eventually from the left-hand side by Bentancur. But Tottenham struggling a little bit to deal with the intensity that Fulham are putting into the game.
Well, the defending from Emerson Royale there was a joke. Ridiculous.
What did he do wrong?
Well, he wasn't ready. He wasn't busy. Dived in. He didn't track his run. He just no alertness, no attention, no spotting danger.
Willian spots a brilliant ball, which he then sends out to the right-hand side so gracefully. Decordova-Reid from the right touchline into the edge of the penalty area, sends it into Reid and then back to Paulinho. Out to the far side, a chance for Tete to cross. No, he hesitates instead, gets onto his left foot, then delivers that ball in towards the near post. No one there to finish it off, but it goes through to the French goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris.
I'm amazed. I'm absolutely amazed how many crosses Fulham have got in. How far? We're 26 minutes in. When you do your pre-match videos and your analysis for a game, what do Fulham do to get the ball in the box? So what should we do? How about stopping crosses?
Well, look,
I mean, it's beyond, honestly, it's just basic stuff.
It's not like that information isn't readily available. I mean, 34% of their goals.
I mean,
Son's
just gives Tete 3 yards to cross that ball however he wants.
It's no secret. And it's no secret that Spurs are struggling. Bentancur just losing his footing on this near touchline. It goes back to Bernd Leno, who then clips the ball up towards Mitrovic. I mean, what is Emerson Royale doing there? Mitrovic comes away with it after out-muscling him and switching the play out to the right. He's calling for it back on the edge of the area. It might come back to him from Decordova-Reid, but in step Romero and rescued Tottenham Hotspur, who are looking to get away with Son up to the halfway line. Ream manages to get a tackle in. Tete then gets involved. There's a yellow card coming out here, and it's going to be a yellow card for Is that for Heung-min Son for his challenge?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah, it was a bit unlucky to get a yellow. But the point is, Son's picking the ball up in the middle there where there's lots of numbers. You want him wide, running on to passes. He doesn't want to be the one making the passes. He needs to be higher so someone can hit him, play him in. But that was a mismatch, wasn't it? The long ball from the keeper again. Mitrovic pinning Emerson Royale, bringing it down as easy as he wants.
Yeah.
Oh, it is a bit naughty.
That
just
was
seeing
a
on the
little
replay.
bit OTT, wasn't it, from Heung-min Son, right on the ankle of Kenny Tete. I just wonder whether or not, in times gone by, when the bar for VAR was not so high, that might have been looked at a little bit more closely.
Who knows?
Who knows? Don't talk to you about Star Wars or VAR.
Correct.
Or players going down feigning injury.
Oh, I'll talk about that happily. Just not very nicely.
Listen, may the force be with you, Danny. May the force be with you. Ball up towards Mitrovic. And Romero was all over him. Mitrovic won the header anyway. And the ball went out towards the near side. Now Romero has been penalised. It's going to be a free kick midway inside the Tottenham half of the field.
You see, there's some basic things in football that when you know you've got a striker who's wonderful at holding the ball up, whether you play 2 or a 3, your midfield's job, and my job always was when I was playing as a holding player, or the player I was playing with, maybe someone bigger and stronger than me, would screen the big striker. So he can't bring it down comfortably on his chest.
Yeah.
And then the centre-half doesn't have to try and climb over him and give fouls away. Why is he not just shouting one of the central midfielders to come in front of him? It's happened about 6 times. Just basics.
Fulham 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Half an hour played. The ball is with Andreas Pereira, takes a free kick into the penalty area, guides it in towards Ream, whose header drops down inside the box after Issa Diop then puts a bit of pressure on Eric Dyer. He's a huge figure of a man, is Issa Diop. He towers over everybody. The ball dropped inside the area and it was cleared away by Spurs, but Fulham have got it back again. Tottenham Hotspur statistics in the first half are kind of ridiculous, really. They are astonishing. They've scored more, conceded less, have significantly more shots, have a higher expected goal output in the second half compared to the first. They did score twice in the first period at City, albeit against the run of play. But it's startling how few goals they've scored in the first half and how poorly they've started matches on such a regular basis.
Well played.
Højbjerg gets the better of Paulinia for once, plays it through the middle of the centre circle and finds Kulusevski, encourages Son to come forward. He travels to the edge of the box, the Swede takes over, gets into the area, crumples under the weight of Diop. The ball runs through to the goalkeeper Leno.
Do you know what, Sam? That's a great example of Kulusevski and Son and Kane all being really central. And the only width they've got is Emerson Royale. He didn't really want to put it out wide because he knows that they probably won't get the service. It can't be that close together. It's too easy to play against.
Yeah, and that is true, isn't it? You know, they don't trust Emerson Royale because his delivery into the box and his final ball when he gets into the area isn't good enough. And that's been a trait over the course of the season. Actually, Doherty was playing there up until last week. He started 4 Premier League games in a row. But I just don't think Antonio Conte knows which one he fancies.
But do you know the ridiculous thing? The best wing-back in the Championship last year is at Tottenham, and they've never given him a go.
Jed Spence.
Bizarre.
And they signed him for a hefty fee as well from Middlesbrough.
Well,
he was on
obviously
loan at
Conte
Nottingham
didn't,
Forest.
did he? But
well, someone did.
Yeah. The thing is with Tottenham, at the best, a lot of the times we've seen them, even when they play counter, they have a wonderful ability to turn defence into attack because of the speed and the width. The speed of Son, who tends to be on the left when we see him counter well, and Kulusevski, who you tend to see wider right, breaking well and running at people. For some reason tonight, they're really narrow. Is that the Son tackle again?
Yeah, the TV is showing it again. I think they're showing it because they think, like we did, that could have been, on a different day, maybe looked at.
It's naughty, but I don't think there's any intent or real force behind it. It's more of a gesture.
Well,
he doesn't follow through with it, but I understand why they're re-showing it. I think the yellow's fine.
Well, I don't think anybody wants this game to go down to...
well, they do, Fulham fans.
Well, I don't think anyone who's a neutral wants to see Fulham against 10-man Tottenham. The spectacle it is at the moment is it's tough enough for Spurs as it is. It's a good spectacle, and we played 32 minutes. Kulusevski's back to his feet after receiving a bit of treatment. Antonio Conte walked off last Thursday when I asked him a question about the future. He said the club was in transition, was putting in place processes to get better, and he pleaded for patience. So I said to him, naturally, that sounds like a long-term project. Will you be here to oversee it? He said, I prefer not to answer that, and walked off.
Brilliant, that helps.
which again didn't really help the feeling
also,
of uncertainty. And then over the weekend we found out about the fact that the contract talks that they started in the World Cup were put on ice, and that just added to it. Here's Kane trying to burst away from Ream, gets to within 30 yards of the goal and shoots, and it curls away from the left-hand upright. It was always veering a little bit away from Bernd Leno's goal, but that's his first sight of goal in the match, Danny, and it's taken 33 minutes.
Brilliant play from Kane. First glimpse of the real quality. Look how strong he is. Paulina can't foul him because he's got that silly yellow from earlier, and when he gets here, you know he can let rip. It's a good effort. It's got good fizz to it, good pace to it, just lifts it. But any moment, this fella, honestly, he can turn anyone with his strength. He can score from anywhere, left foot, right foot, head. Just a wonderful player.
Bit worried about Paulina here. He's had to have a bit of attention because I think he got caught in the eye during a collision, and he's having a word with the physios who've come out to check, see if he is okay. I don't think Fulham will be too happy losing him.
Do you know what happened to me? I can only, maybe it was like a finger or a fingernail. I got cut on my eye with a fingernail once, and it didn't look like anything. You know, you'd think I was being
dramatic, rolling around, pretending that you were hurt.
You don't roll around when you get in the face. Doesn't affect your legs, does it?
That's not what I've seen.
Doesn't affect your legs. You've never seen me roll around when I got hit in the face. But I got a nail in the eye, and it cut the inside of my eye, and it really caused me a problem. I don't know if he's done something similar there, but
yeah,
I stayed on, obviously.
Of course you did. You're hard as nails, aren't you?
Yeah. Just couldn't pass the ball for the next 20 minutes.
He's hard as nails, but he was telling me that he was looking for a bigger and better coat.
Yes.
To keep out the chills of winter.
Although I am building extra layers at the moment over my Christmas period, I tell you.
Not January not turned into the health kick month for you, no?
Yeah, it's getting there. It started a bit late, but I am on that buzz now, yeah.
Good. We're underway again after treatment for Paulina, who has continued. And down the right, Kulusevski is trying to escape for Tottenham Hotspur. And he's thwarted by Andreas Pereira. It's going to be a free kick just in from the touchline. Fulham 0, Tottenham 0 on Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. Southampton Newcastle tomorrow kicks off at 8 o'clock. Cheltenham Sheffield Wednesday at the same time as on Talksport 2. And if you haven't tuned into Talksport 2 yet, easy to do. Download the app. You can swipe between the two stations at will. We've got a host of live commentaries upcoming over the course of the weekend in the FA Cup. Tottenham Hotspur had a free kick on the right-hand side, midway inside Fulham territory, and went back to Eric Dyer, who was 30 yards inside his own half. Why?
I don't know. And he invited the press. It's just it's game intelligence. Sometimes I honestly don't believe what I see. And who's telling him off? Who's actually saying to him, "Wait, don't do that again"? You know what Tottenham should be doing? They should be getting the ball into Harry Kane's feet as often as possible.
It'd be interesting to know how many touches he's had of the ball in the first half, because he's rarely been on it, to be honest with you. Anthony Robinson's just running to the corner flag. The ball's been sent back to Emerson Royale inside the area. Right-footed shot in towards the near post, pushed behind by a diving Bernd Leno, who turns it round the post and out for a corner. Well, they got a little bit lucky there, Spurs, because they played a 1-2 off the corner flag, and that outfoxed Anthony Robinson and just gave them a little bit of space to get the ball into Emerson Royale, whose shot was stopped by the German goalkeeper. Corner kick to be taken by Perisic on this near side. There's 5 to aim at in Tottenham mauve inside the 6-yard box. Left-footed delivery is a poor one into the near post, and Willian inexplicably puts it behind and gives him another chance.
I don't know if you've been down there, Sam. I was actually walking down there the other day. I was here for a meeting in the
Camber.
The AstroTurf.
Yeah,
drops
terribly,
about a foot, 2 foot, and you're running uphill to take a corner. I did have words about it many times when I was here, but nothing got done, I'm afraid.
It fell on deaf ears. You're joking. Perisic in towards the near post, away by Ream, heads it behind, and it goes out for another corner kick.
It's like that at a few stadiums, you know. It's for drainage as well, I think.
Old Trafford's a little bit like that.
Yeah, and sometimes you see players take poor corners. You think, how can a professional footballer take a corner that badly? But when you're trying to run uphill to take a corner, not as easy as you think.
Yeah, and Perisic is certainly doing that. Left-footed this time, deeper towards the far post, but out comes Leno, stretches his arms into the air, and then runs to the edge of the 18-yard box and dispatched it to Harrison Reed, who tried to play it first time down the right touchline. It was blocked by Hotspur. A bit better from Tottenham in the last few minutes, and they've got hold of the ball again. Dyer far side, out towards the left. Hotspur being rushed by De Cordova-Reid. Best chances of the game have come to Fulham. They've had the better of the play so far in the match, but the best Tottenham chance came in the last few minutes for Emerson Royale, who cracked his shot towards the near post. It was the first smart save that Bernd Leno had to make in the game.
Well, this is better. Kulusevski's out wide now, because this is where the space is. Get him the ball.
And that's where he is at his best. Scored against Manchester City. They do need him back. He started just 4 of the last 19 games because of injury, and he's produced 5 assists. There's not many players in the Premier League that have produced more than 5 assists this season, but he's done it in 882 minutes of Premier League football.
Yeah, it's good goal.
Tackles coming from Paulinho on the halfway line, and Emerson Royale, who took an age to get down the right touchline, didn't funnel it in towards Kulusevski, has given the ball back towards the edge of his own penalty area. It's Fulham 0, Tottenham 0, and for the latest odds you can head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Fulham to win at 2-1, Tottenham 8-5, and the draw is 7-4. It's all thanks to Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com, 18+, begambleaware.org. Given away again by Spurs, and now Andreas Pereira just couldn't find the pass out to Willian that he was looking for, but well won by Issa Diop, then turned over by Bentancur. Son trying to escape away. Kane goes down after a challenge from Ream. The referee says play on. The ball sent back by Ream into his own penalty area. Robinson's being harassed here, but he's managed to bring it down and escape beautifully in between Kulusevski and Son. Real poise from the USA international.
That was like dancing on ice, that.
You fancy a go, by
pirouetting in his own box there. Great balance. Are you okay?
You'd need an even bigger coat then, Danny, wouldn't you? Here is
I'll do it if Aid does it.
You could do it together. Hit Robinson into Willian. Back towards the left back, Anthony Robinson. John Fashanu was on it this year.
Any good?
He went out in the first episode.
Did he?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Does it?
Yeah. A little bit. Don't know why. I always thought footballers would be pretty good on their feet, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, we had Kilban on it as well. He went out quite early too.
Did he?
Yeah. Ball is on the halfway line. Perisic plays it to it's been dispossessed. Bentancur by Paulinho, who's robbed him well, and Pereira is coming forward brilliantly. He switched the play to the left edge of the area, and he's picked up by Willian, who's cracked the shot goalwards, but it's too close to Hugo Lloris, who punches the ball down, and it's cleared away to safety. Paulinho turnover again.
Paulinho has been absolutely terrific. He robbed Bentancur, who's not been at it. Was eulogised about him before, but he's not really been at it. Willian right to go on his left foot because Romero was blocking off his right, and fortunately for him it was straight down the throat of Lloris, but a good counter.
5 minutes before half-time, Talksport, and we're live at Craven Cottage on the Monday night game night, and Perisic with a really stupid foul, pushing in the back Bobby De Cordova-Reid. And it's about 7 or 8 yards outside the penalty area, wide on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Why gift an opportunity to a team that is so good from wide areas?
I really don't know. I actually think Sessegnon, when I've seen him this season, has been really dynamic, really good. I'd like to see him on the left, and if anything, put Perisic on the right.
Perisic really struggled against Man City.
Yeah, well, he's had a few bad... I mean, a lot of Tottenham players have had bad spells this season, to be honest. He's not on his own, but you know he's got the quality and experience. But I still think Sessegnon, when I watch him play, he seems to be dynamic, get forward, make things happen. Even in the Arsenal game, he was the one really getting in behind and really making a burst to get in the box at times.
Free kick taken by Andreas Pereira, wide on the right, in towards the near post, and it's flicked over the top of the crossbar. Well, they were all queuing up in the centre. Paulinho was in there, so was Issa Diop, who was arriving late. They seemed to get in each other's way, really, and it went over the top of the crossbar and out for a goal kick. Away to our left-hand side, but it was a good chance, that. Good delivery.
It's a brilliant delivery. It looked like a really good chance. I mean, he gets himself a bit... Possibly a foul on Harry Kane, pulling his shirt, but both ways here. He ends up with his back to goal, so I don't know why. Maybe he's off balance, but it was a chance. Brilliant ball in.
Yeah, Diop was closest to it in the end. If he had just got out of the way, Paulinho, Diop might have had a free header on goal. Son skating down the left-hand side, running into traffic. Diop watching him and then pinching the ball brilliantly in the right full-back position for Fulham, hoisting it towards halfway, flicked away by Hojbjerg into the path of Ben Davies, and Tottenham trying to build on the stroke of half-time. 2.5 minutes to go before the break, and it's still goalless. We're looking for our breakthrough here on this Monday night game night at Craven Cottage. Ream getting the ball on the edge of the penalty area and complaining when a foul is given against him. He was suggesting he definitely got the ball. The referee, Paul Tierney, was alerted to the foul that he thought he saw on Son and wanted to give the free kick and has done. It's in a dangerous area, this, because this is like 5 yards outside the box.
It looked like a foul, didn't it, first viewing? I don't think Son's a tight stay down, really, unless he was caught.
Well, he does feel as if he is caught. He's hobbling up to his feet now, wandering into the middle of the 18-yard box. What it does do, Danny, is it presents Harry Kane with an opportunity to shoot at Bernd Leno's goal. Harry Kane on his 300th Premier League appearance. His next goal will take him level with Jimmy Greaves. He's only 2 goals away from 200 Premier League goals, and only Rooney and Shearer have managed to get to that sort of level. And he is sizing this one up. There are 5 white shirts in the Fulham wall, and then there's a few Tottenham distractors just to its right. He steps up right-footed, sends it across the floor. It's probably the worst free kick he's ever taken.
I don't remember seeing him score too many. I'm not sure that's his expertise. He's not a big free kick man. I don't see too many of his free kicks going in.
Flick on by Kane this time in towards Son, edge of the penalty area. Well defended again by Diop, but one back by Emerson Royale on the edge of the Fulham box. It's shifted on to the left, and Perisic back to Emerson Royale, and Perisic with the back heel. Emerson Royale going on the overlap, trying to produce a cross. It's blocked by Diop, and it's cleared away by Bobby De Cordova-Reid. But Tottenham coming at Fulham in the final few minutes of the first half. It's goalless on Talksport. Collected by Hojbjerg, centre circle, out to the left, and now on to Ben Davies. The Welshman strides up towards the midpoint of the Fulham half, sends it infield to Bentancur. And I think the crowd just sensing that they're under the cosh a little bit, just trying to raise the levels of the Fulham players before half-time. Here's Dyer, striding through the centre circle, looking up and then deciding to go back. There's no real option on for him. Perisic is hugging the touchline left side. I don't know what it's like for the Tottenham players, but because of that kit that they're wearing, which looks like someone's training kit, here is Bentancur moving towards the edge of the area. It's cleared away by Kenny Tete and out towards Mitrovic, who brings it down brilliantly, then couldn't play the pass he wanted. He should have played it out to Willian. I think he tried to find Andreas Pereira. Bentancur's fought for the ball and won it and pushed it out towards the right side. Emerson Royale has picked it up, now played it out to Kulusevski. He's accelerated past Pereira, got to the byline, produced a low cross, steered away by Tim Ream. 3 minutes of added time at the end of the first 45, 0-0. Tottenham on top for the last few minutes.
Yeah, better from Tottenham. Bentancur there, nice and calm in the middle of the pitch, getting them out. And Kulusevski, like I said, now it's causing problem because he's wide. He's got it on the right side, he's meandered into the box, he's tried a shot left-footed, it's cleared away by Robinson. Loose inside the area, dive wouldn't come down for him, away by De Cordova-Reid. Fulham getting pinned back here. Emerson Royale, a little back heel. I'm sure there's a few Tottenham supporters that panic there as Harrison Reed closed him down. Son picks it up, left side, moves into the channel, then gives it to Harry Kane, who turns right-footed and produces a terrific finish. A lovely turn on the edge of the box, firing it across the goalkeeper Bernd Leno and scoring a majestic goal. Harry Kane with the strike to put Tottenham in front, and now no one has scored more goals for Spurs than him. He equals the record set by the great Jimmy Greaves and puts Spurs in front on the stroke of half-time. It's a wonderful Harry Kane goal, and it's Fulham 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. It's just brilliant play. That's all you can say. He knows, look, he's looking, left shoulder, where's Ream? There he is, one touch, I know where the goal is, don't even need to look. I mean, you could argue it's poor defending. You don't show Harry Kane on his right foot. You keep him on his left. Don't commit. But, oh, my God. The best forwards in the world find a way. They always do. They've not really been in the game. They've had a decent 5-8 minutes. He's had their 2 best chances, and one of them's a goal. That's why he's one of the best strikers in the world.
Oh, what a finish. And what a way to equal Jimmy Greaves' record.
Just superb forward play.
He is to be cherished, Harry Kane. A striker of absolute top quality, and a brilliant finish that puts Tottenham Hotspur in a great position.
It does.
And Tottenham actually...
They've been second best.
Yeah.
But this is the thing in football, when you've got brilliant forward player or forwards, you don't have to play well to win games sometimes.
Well, that was certainly the case at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, it was indeed.
Ball thrashed through the middle of the Spurs half. Fulham have just about kept hold of it. Anthony Robinson has taken it on. It's sent back to Ream and then Paulinho, who clips it out to the far side. Fulham feeling a little bit hard done by about the fact that they are 1-0 down as we go in towards the break. A little bit later than anticipated. We've nearly played our 3 minutes of added time at the end of the first 45, but Kane has been allowed to spin again, and he's played it in on the right hand side and almost found Kulusevski. And that was what you were asking for earlier in the game. Get Harry Kane on the ball, get the players wider.
Yep.
And there is the half-time whistle. Well, when Tottenham need a result, coming down to Fulham usually does the trick. They have won each of their last 6 visits to Craven Cottage, and they are in front here. His landmark goal, going equal with Jimmy Greaves on the all-time list of Tottenham scorers. Doesn't tell you the full story of a first half in which Fulham largely dominated, but at half-time it's Fulham 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
Well, we've got more live football coming your way tomorrow night. Carabao Cup semi-final first leg, Southampton, Newcastle. I'll be there with Jim Proudfoot and Dean Ashton. 8 o'clock kick-off build-up from 7 on Talksport. And on Wednesday, it's the other semi, Forest against Manchester United. Sam, Stuart Pearce and myself at the City Ground for that one. Again, we start at 7. The kick-off is at 8. But as the players make their way off, away to the left, into the cottage where the changing rooms are, in the corner, Fulham will wonder how on earth they're behind. They were going to be wondering at 0-0 why they weren't in front. And now they're wondering how they're behind. But the reason is very simple, Danny Murphy. It is Harry Kane. Before that goal, he'd had 7 touches. He'd had 1 shot. He'd made it for himself. He'd fired it over the bar. A truly terrible free kick. He's taken loads of them. He's only ever scored 1 in the Premier League for Spurs.
Is that right?
He needs to get off free kicks. But that was a truly brilliant Harry Kane goal. And what we were talking about pre-match about Harry Kane, are they wasting his talent? It feels like they should be doing far more when he's got talent like that to pull that out of nowhere to give Spurs a half-time lead.
Well, one thing in the games they should be doing is giving him the ball more, because he scores great goals, he can make his own, but he can also create chances. The problem was for Tottenham in the first 35 minutes of the game, they were second best to second balls, they weren't playing the ball quick enough, there was no runners in behind, there was no intensity, it was poor. And Fulham were the better side. I mean, Fulham kept putting balls in the box. They defended them reasonably well, Tottenham, actually. I mean, Romero was really good. And the couple of chances Fulham did have, they didn't take. But Harry Kane's... He's got an awareness of where the goal is, no matter where he is on the pitch. It's unbelievable. He was so calm with that turn. He'd already planned it. You could see, he looked over his left shoulder before the ball was played into him. He knew Ream was going to come tight. He spun it onto his right foot, and he didn't even need to look. It's in the bottom of the court, and before you know it, it's just phenomenal forward play. And there's very little you can do when he's at it like that.
But when I think it's that second touch where Ream has come tight to him, and then he takes it away from him, and Ream's not expecting it, and he's caught off balance, if you like. He can't. His feet are planted, and Kane's all of a sudden got a load of space out of nowhere, and as you say, knows where the goal is and fires it beyond the goalkeeper who can do nothing about it. But that's the genius of Harry Kane, and it gives the half-time score no reflection whatsoever, really, of the first half, because Spurs have been poor. I don't think they've defended great. They've not attacked with any verve at all. It's just that finishing touch, which when Mitrovic is on the pitch, you expect Fulham to have that, but they haven't had that, have they? Let's talk about Paulinho, because he has been absolutely magnificent, easily the best player on the pitch.
Yeah, he's been sensational in terms of his desire to intercept, pick up pieces, get on the end of things, press. The only thing that let him down was the stupid tackle on Højbjerg, where he got the yellow card, of course, which now means he has to be really careful in the second half when he goes and does the same type of things. But he also got himself in the box for a header near the end where he could have got a goal. Yeah, he's been brilliant. He's been sensational. And doesn't deserve to be on a losing team. But as I said before, when you've got a forward like Harry Kane in your team, you can play badly and win football matches. The problem is for Spurs, The performance level of that first half won't win you many games. It won't against good opposition.
That's true. Harry Kane's got them out of a hole.
Yes.
Really, and that's happening too many times under Conte, I think.
Well, the other thing as well, I mean, obviously they want to get Champions League and they want to try and move forward and progress as a team and a club. If you're watching that as a fan, although they're 1-0 up, you can't be happy with what you're watching.
No.
You're second best to Fulham. You've spent God knows how much more. You know, you've got technically better players, and actually the attitude and application ain't the same as Fulham. Why?
Well, it's a great question. Fair play to the Spurs fans early in that first half. They were singing Antonio Conte's name, but on the pitch, Spurs were second best until Harry Kane took control just before half-time and scored an absolute cracker to put his name once again in the Spurs history book. Spurs lead 1-0 at half-time, live on Talksport.
Monday game night on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Are you in? Let's go. Play at ladbrokes.com. 18+, begambleaware.org.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
At Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals on a wide range of trade quality building products. This month, we've got a 2.44 by 1.22 metre sheet of 18mm sheathing structural plywood for only £24.99 ex-VAT. Now that's a real deal. Find even more real deals at Selco Builders Warehouse and online at selcobw.com.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
That charged at 20%.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a treehouse in the garden.
I'm living my perfect childhood.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Hello, my friend. Life comes at you fast, so make time for you time with Just Eat. For early times, lunch times, late times, strange times. The perfect times for the McDonald's Sausage and Egg McMuffin, Five Guys Cheeseburger and Strawberry Shake, Domino's Pepperoni Passion, plus more from Costa Coffee, Creams Cafe and Pizza Express. So order now, later, in a bit, whenever. We got it.
Did somebody say Just Eat?
Product subject to availability in restaurant and serving times. Participating stores only. See justeat.co.uk for details.
For all the top Premier League analysis, listen to The Game, the Premier Football podcast from The Times. Every Monday and Thursday, join Hugh Woozencroft and a host of big-name guests for in-depth reaction and opinion on the latest action and the biggest issues in the world of football.
It's a massive goal!
Hear previews of all the upcoming matches and provocative and compelling opinions from some of the finest football writers from The Times and The Sunday Times.
Lovely bit of football!
Listen to The Game on the free Times Radio app or wherever you find your podcasts.
What does Asahi Super Dry taste like? Crisp, refreshing and always super dry. A taste as unexpected and surprising as modern Japan. That's right, Japan's #1 beer. Asahi Super Dry, beyond expected. Go to asahisuperdry.com to verify. Enjoy responsibly. Visit drinkaware.co.uk to find out more.
And he's barreled it straight through the midfield into the Village Hotel Pub and Grill Fan Zone, the home of big screen live football. A long volley over the stadium seats by the giant screens into the left-hand corner of the bar, past a winning lineup of ice-cold beers and a magnificent menu of mouth-watering footy food. Result!
Enjoy the perfect big match experience with food, drink and live football at a Village Hotel Pub and Grill Fan Zone at 33 UK locations. Find your nearest venue and win monthly prizes, including match tickets at villagehotels.com/fanzone. Get in! Conditions apply. 18+, always drink responsibly.
This football season, get a hand from Betfair's popular Bet Builder and easily add our fan favourite football selections to your bet slip in just one tap. Spend less time finger faffing and place your bet the easy way. Now that's handy, because we're Betfair.
Exclusive to Betfair Sportsbook. Terms and conditions apply. Please see frequently asked questions on support.betfair.com. 18+, begambleaware.org.
Game day exclusive on Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. We search a panel of lenders to find you the best deal. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. Colossal football on a Monday night.
Oh, he's grabbed the net!
Football commentary forged in fire and brimstone.
Brilliant strike!
This is Game Night
on Talksport.
Son picks it up, left side, moves into the channel, then gives it to Harry Kane, who turns right-footed and produces a terrific finish. A lovely turn on the edge of the box, firing it across the goalkeeper Bernd Leno and scoring a majestic goal. Harry Kane with the strike to put Tottenham in front, and now no one has scored more goals for Spurs than him. He equals the record set by the great Jimmy Greaves.
266 Tottenham goals for Harry Kane, set to break the record. He has just equalled. What a talisman he is for Spurs. What a lifesaver sometimes for Tottenham Hotspur, certainly in that first half. Fulham deserve to be in front, but they're in the dressing room and they're behind because of Harry Kane. It's not because of Spurs, it's not because of Conte, it is simply because of Harry Kane scoring a brilliant goal. You're listening to Game Night on Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. Now, Everton have confirmed that Frank Lampard's left his post as senior men's first team manager today. All his coaching staff, including Ashley Cole, have left as well. Paul Tate and Leighton Baines will take training until a new manager is appointed. The Toffees don't play until Saturday the 4th of February, home to Arsenal, and that game's exclusive to national radio. It is only on Talksport, of course. So they'll be discussing that on the Sports Bar and this game as well. Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara on the Sports Bar after 10 o'clock when we're done here at Craven Cottage.
I'm Jamie O'Hara.
And I'm Jason Cundy.
We are doing a Sports Bar straight after the game today. Tottenham v Spurs, a big game live and exclusive on Talksport, and it's going very well for Tottenham at the moment. Unbelievable goal from Harry Kane. We'll be discussing him. Haaland or Kane?
Jay, you and I had this conversation straight off the back of that goal. Harry Kane is the worst free kick taker of the best strikers in the world ever. He can't strike a still ball. It needs to be moving. He needs to have his back to goal. The ball needs to move. He doesn't need to look at it's a brilliant strike. Do you know what? Next season, if you gave me a choice, Harry Kane or Haaland, I'm going Kane.
For Chelsea?
For Chelsea.
Well, you got no chance. Because your graveyard for centre forwards.
We'll kill both, but right now I'll take Kane.
We'll be taking your calls after the game. 03 717 22 33 44. We'll also be discussing Frank Lampard getting a sack at Everton. Get involved.
Loads of football, loads of fun on the Sports Bar with those two, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy coming up. Remember, there's a delayed kick-off here. It didn't start till 8:15, so it'll be a delayed finish, of course. As soon as we're done, Sports Bar will get underway. Taking your calls, make a note of the number, 03717 223344. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Are you in? Let's go. Play at ladbrokes.com. 18 plus begambleaware.org.
Here's Jess O'Reilly from Ladbrokes. Don't quite know how, but Spurs are in front. So what about second half? Next goal scorer as well. Correct score odds as well. There's a lot still to play for here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, did Spurs deserve that? Absolutely not. They were woeful pretty much all half. I think it's fair to say they were outplayed left, right and centre. And then obviously cometh the hour, cometh the man. Spurs are now into 2-5. No surprises there. Fulham out to 8-1, but it is certainly not over yet. Fulham played really, really well. That press was very good, very impressive. They're obviously going to be gutted now at half-time, very disheartened, but they shouldn't be. This game is not over yet, as you say. I think the draw is definitely the value bet here, Adrian, at 16-5. Both teams to score is therefore now odds on at 8-11. For me, it's got to be 1-1, obviously. I don't see many more goals in this game. That's in there at 17-4. Harry Kane, is he going to get another goal though? Forget about the draw. He is 3-1 to score next to get his 200th Premier League goal. But yeah, this game not over by any chance. But for the Fulham win at 8-1, that is probably over. But yeah, the draw 16-5, definitely there to play for.
Jess, thank you very much. That was the latest odds with Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com, 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Are you in? Let's go. Play at ladbrokes.com, 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
As the subs make their way back over the field to the dugouts opposite us in that new Riverside development over there. We'll wait for the teams to come out. Danny Murphy, goal 266 for Harry Kane at Spurs. 199 Premier League goals for Harry Kane. Now, 260 is Alan Shearer's records. Kane is 29 years old.
How many did you say? 100?
He's on 199 now,
right.
Harry Kane. So one more, he's on 200. He's still got 61 to equal Shearer's record. And Harry Kane is, 29 years of age.
Be close.
Think he's going to do it?
I think it'll be close.
3 seasons of 20 goals.
With no injuries.
If he goes to a better club,
Do you know the amazing thing is this? Alan Shearer's total, when he played for Southampton, they're not in there.
Oh, because they weren't Premier League. Oh, that's just...
How incredible is that, though?
You've just floored the nation there.
How mad is that? I realised it the other day.
Did he tell you?
No, someone else did, actually. I was really annoyed. I was like, oh my God, he's even better than I thought, man. I hope he's not listening. He won't be.
Of course he's listening. But Harry Kane, what can you say? He saved Spurs.
So he might have beat his Premier League record, but he won't have beat his record.
And bearing in mind the injuries Shearer had as well. It's astonishing.
Yeah.
And he also played for a club in Newcastle that, yes, they had their moments, but they didn't win titles, did they?
No.
Kane's the same, of course. But
I was going to say. Yeah. 2 peas in a pod there.
I know that Harry Kane's dream, I know this for certain, is to win a trophy and take it into a Spurs-filled pub and lift that trophy in front of the fans. That's actually his dream. And the more time goes on, the less chance he's going to have of doing it. So he's got to make it. Well, he made a decision, didn't he? He wanted to go to Man City, but Spurs wouldn't sell him. They've held him back.
Do you know what? I had a really interesting chat regarding Kane with Alan Shearer actually while we were away, and talking about goal records. And I was talking to Al about if he'd have gone United, he might have scored more and won more trophies. And actually, he was adamant that goal scoring records is ultimately what he's judged on in later life. You know, when people look back and say, how many goals did Shearer get? How many seasons did he score X amount of goals? What was his goal scoring record? He said they mean more to him than any medals. And I think goal scorers do think that way.
Yeah, I would think so.
I think if Harry Kane
selfish or
yeah. I mean, that's just the way they are.
So if they lose a game 5-1 and get the goal, that's it.
Goals are their medals.
Yeah. And the stats will always be there. I mean, we can look for your number of tackles, Danny, but we'll always look for your penalties against Manchester United.
No, only one penalty. The other 2 were good goal, free kick and a chip.
Sorry.
But let me just actually confirm that point, even from a midfield perspective. People all over the world, people will talk, every time I bump into anyone who loves football, wherever countryman, they'll always have a goal they remember.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not a tackle. It's not a pass. It's not a header you clear off the line.
Memories and moments, what we talked about earlier. Fulham are going to need some of those in this second half if they're to get anything from this game. Fulham 0, Spurs 1. Second half is about to get underway. Live and exclusive this game night on Talksport with Danny Murphy and Sam Matterface.
Well, the only team that have scored more second half goals than Tottenham Hotspur are Manchester City. Tottenham have scored 27, so we could be in for an entertaining second period, and Tottenham will hope that is the case if they want to keep their faint Champions League ambitions alive. They did very little in that first half until Harry Kane popped up with the opener on the stroke of half-time. It is the goal that separates these two as we go into the second half. Both teams are out. Tottenham will shoot from right to left in the second half. Fulham from left to right in white shirts, black shorts and white socks. They've got Bernd Leno in goal, Tete, Diop, Ream and Robinson as the back 4, Paulinho and Reed, then Pereira behind the striker Mitrovic and Willian and Decordova-Reid either side.
How can the referee have a problem again with his gear?
It's cold, Danny.
What the hell is going on?
The batteries are frozen or something like that. Our producer Sal's got a whole box of batteries. He could just go over there and give it to
How long have they got to get this sorted?
For 15 minutes.
It was fine. They had a problem before the game, and now they've got a problem coming out for the second half.
Yeah, Paul Tierney is speaking to the fourth official, and Craig Pawson is dealing with the technician. He's being rewired again, and eventually I think we will get underway. Tottenham are going to have Hugo Lloris in goal, the back 3 of Romero, Dyer and Davis, the back 3, Royale and Perisic are the wing backs, Højbjerg and Bentancur in the centre of the park with Kulusevski, Kane and Son up front. Son and Polina have been booked in that first 45 minutes, and Tottenham in mauve shirts with black sleeves, black shorts, fluorescent steward yellow socks and steward yellow trim are attacking the goal away to our left in the second half, where their fans are housed. There's a small slither of them over in the far corner of the Hammersmith, the Putney end, away to our left-hand side. And immediately Son chases back with Decordova-Reid and Mitrovic on this near side as the ball is switched from left to right. We are underway now. And
Sam, why do people stand up until the ball is kicked in each up before the game, and then second they stand up until the ball's kicked in and then they sit down? Is that a tradition?
I don't know. I had to stand up because they stood up. Sorry.
No, but you see it every game, don't you?
24,190 here. Perisic has just put his foot up in the air and challenged Cordova-Reid. The ball has gone out behind the goal away to our right-hand side. Now the Fulham players are asking for at least a corner, and they might be asking for more than that. That was a little bit clumsy from Perisic. Inside the area, didn't make any contact. No suggestion of a penalty, I don't think.
No, I agree. I don't know if he made contact with the ball. I was too busy watching. No, I think it's the right decision. It's one of those, you get a free kick outside the box, but you never get a pen in it.
Yeah, because it was a high foot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
An unnecessary high foot. Tottenham have cleared from the back, playing out into the midfield, up to first Son, then out towards the right-hand side. And then it's given back to Bentancur, who's just dropped to the right side of the defence. Romero's wandered into midfield momentarily, and then Davis, being pressured by Cordova-Reid, plays it infield to Højbjerg. He's got Harrison Reed pressing really high on him, and they almost turned the ball over. Fulham, but didn't manage it, and it goes out of play and away for a throw on this near side. It's Fulham 0, Tottenham 1 on Talksport. I was about to say beforehand that I don't know what it's like to be on the pitch, but because of the way that the players are warming up on the far side with the same yellow as the trim of the kit and the socks, and because that kit is very dark and it sort of blends in with the crowd, I wonder if that does cause them a little bit of vision problems.
It does, and it would do, because what you see when you're playing midfield and you're just swivelling your head the whole time is little glimpses of colours.
Here is Tete on the right-hand side, trying to get into an advanced position. He's played it into the box, and Højbjerg's intervened and sent it back to the goalkeeper. It's cleared away by Tottenham up towards the halfway line. Here is Cordova-Reid, straight into the chest of Kenny Tete. The flag has stayed down on this near touchline as Tete has wandered forward again. Reid has pinged the ball into the area, looking for Mitrovic, who's headed it down onto Willian inside the area. He's taken a touch and gone wide instead of shooting. Mitrovic has got it back again. Robinson joins the attack. On the left side, Willian has taken the ball down into the left wing position, looking to try and stand up across. A low one into the near post is steered away by Emerson Royal. It wasn't the perfect delivery by the Brazilian.
He did the hard work. He did a great little bit of skill, and he made the space for the cross and then underhit it.
Now the player on the far side and away for a throw-in to Tottenham Hotspur. Antonio Conte's side were third just weeks before the World Cup. Things change very quickly. A win tonight and they will go within 3 points of the top four. Lose and they will get leapfrogged by Fulham. But whatever happens, the four clubs above them have at least one game in hand, and that will be of concern to the Italian.
The key for Fulham is not to get too anxious and try and chase the equaliser too early, because you'll get done on the counter with Tottenham. Take your time, be patient, work your way in.
The ball has gone up to Mitrovic, who's been mishandled by Romero, and it's going to be a free kick inside the Tottenham half of the field. It'll be taken by Andreas Pereira, and I think they'll go straight into the box with this one. There'll be no short tippy-tappy close build-up from Fulham. They'll release this right up into the penalty area.
He's a handful, isn't he? Mitrovic, him and Romero having a good tussle there.
And he has scored in all four appearances in Premier League London derbies this season. The last player to score in 5 successive Premier League derbies in London was Harry Kane. Ball into the box, aimed towards Mitrovic. He's dropped down in front of him inside the 6-yard box. He couldn't get it under control. Back in by Diop towards the far post. Drops inside the area. It's a header by Paulini that goes over the top of the crossbar, and the referee gives a goal kick. And once again, they surround the referee and complain to him that he's spotted something that they haven't, and didn't spot the fact that he took a nick off a Tottenham jersey. And actually Tim Ream came across and stopped them from getting too close to him. Dyer's gone down inside the penalty area. He needs some help.
It was a brave header. It was really brave from him. Good defending from Dyer this. It's a good ball in, scrambles about, Diop pops it back in. And Dyer just does enough in front of Paulini to put him off. Just see on the replay. Yeah, the clash of heads, I think.
Did the ball flick off Dyer's head? Certainly that was the accusation from Paulini. And Dyer's getting some treatment away to our right-hand side. Tim Ream is going over again to Paul Tierney. Paul Tierney's just trying to get his point across to Tim Ream so that he then sort of acts as the peacemaker with the rest of his troops. I'm not really sure that Fulham have been so disruptive to the referee that they need to communicate only via Tim Ream.
No, it's a bit excessive, isn't it? A little bit of self-importance. from the referee. Overly keen on the way he goes about his business, his attitude. I'd like to see referees a little bit more, occasionally, when they converse with players, a bit more smiley, a bit more kind of just relatable, trying to, I mean...
The human touch.
Yeah, just to... Sometimes appeasing situations is done best with a smile and a bit of... Kill someone with kindness. Mark Colsey was the best at it back in my day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Communicator.
He'd also give you a load of stick, like you'd give him, he'd give you, but, you know, this strict, stern, tyrannical refereeing style, it doesn't work. It just irritates players.
Well, Fulham will take encouragement from Tottenham's defensive record. Antonio Conte quite happy to admit that his defence have been a problem. They've shipped 22 goals in their last 21 goals in the last 10 Premier League games, and what a contrast that run is to their run from last November when Conte took over, and the clean sheets that they were keeping for fun. They kept 13 clean sheets in a strong second half to the campaign, and when you compare that to now, it's quite a difference, isn't it? Here's Decordova-Reid on the right side, looking to release Harrison. The ball wasn't great, and it's cleared away, smuggled out of play by Romero, and out for a throw on this near side, level with the edge of the penalty area. We've played 51 minutes. In fact, we haven't played 51 minutes. We've had 51 minutes. We've hardly played any minutes in the second half. There's now 2 balls on the pitch as Tim Ream picks it up centre circle, floats it out to the far side. It's headed away by Emerson Royale, but picked up by Anthony Robinson, who travels down towards the left side of the Tottenham half. Right on the touchline is Willian. Pereira tries to smack it into the box. It's blocked by Højbjerg. Comes back to halfway, and now it's with Issa Diop. He flicks it into Kenny Tete. Tete wants a bit of movement from Paulinho in front of him.
He was there.
Diop forward, Decordova-Reid, Paulinho onto Pereira, back into midfield. Paulinho trying to protect it, but Højbjerg's come away with it. It's onto Kane, who turns and fires it out to the far side. Kulusevski, Emerson Royale's on the overlap, goes down the right. Tackle comes in from Diop, out of play and away for a throw into Tottenham. And that's that counter-attack threat that you mentioned.
Well, that'll become more of a risk as the half goes on, and Fulham have to really try and push men forward, but they've defended it pretty well so far.
Fulham 0, Tottenham 1. Harry Kane's record equalling goal separates these two. 8 minutes into the second half. He scored it just before the break, and he is in great form in the Premier League. 16 goals in 20 Premier League games this season.
I think that would be...
If Haaland hadn't have been in and around the division, we'd been waxing lyrical more about that.
Exactly that, yeah.
Ben Davis on halfway, out to the far side, played by Bentancur, short, cut out by Anthony Robinson. Then Emerson Royale goes down under a challenge from the American. Play on, says the referee. Eventually it goes out of play and it's away for a throw to Fulham on the far side. And the Fulham crowd getting a little bit frustrated with their team, trying to urge them on to try and search for a goal.
Well, it suits Tottenham, doesn't it, being a goal up? They like to play deep, they like to sit in and then break away. It means Fulham have to press them a little bit higher and come after them a bit and take some risks, and exactly what Tottenham like to do. Catch you when you've got men forward, use the spaces.
Bentancur into Son to Kulusevski, cleared away by Fulham once again. Willian coming up to halfway, skips past 2 challenges, runs out to the far side. Emerson Royale pulls the tackle in. Of course, Fulham's season has been so good that no one's going to complain too much if they were to lose narrowly to Tottenham Hotspur. The last manager to keep Fulham in the Premier League was Martin Jol in 2012-13. That was the season after Danny had left for Blackburn. It was the last season in which Fulham actually beat Spurs.
Yeah, I think Berbatov saved them right near the end, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, they went down a year after as Martin got sacked.
Yep.
Started the season so poorly, but yeah, Tottenham were a bogey side for us. We struggled against them generally. I mean, they were a good side as well, don't get me wrong. Had some super players back then, but yeah, we struggled to win against Tottenham. I think we beat them in the FA Cup once, that was about it.
Ball is loose on the edge of the centre circle, and Pereira has found the flame-haired Harrison Reed, who moves up towards the edge of the box, sends it wide. Kenny Tete with a cross, he doesn't get it right, scoops it towards the far post, and it was a bit too close to Hugo Lloris and will be cleared away. Adrian mentioned it at half-time, but Frank Lampard's sacking it as the Everton boss was confirmed whilst we were bringing you the first half by Everton. Well, we brought it to you live on Talksport a lot earlier than that, but the official confirmation from Everton came during that first half. As a result of that sacking, Alan Stubbs will be on the breakfast show with Laura and Ali tomorrow morning. Make sure you join them for that. Here is Bentancur over on the far side. Ball picked out by Dyer to find Perisic on this near side. He's 10 yards short of the 18-yard box. He's then returned it to the far side when really they needed to get it into the actual danger zone.
Well, do you know what it is, Sam? It's great when you're at a game because you don't see some of the things when you're at home watching on the tape. You do it at a game, obviously. When Perisic came in on his right foot then, Kane had made a great little run on the inside left, and all he had to do was slide it into him. And even as the defender's with him, he's got it at his feet in the box. Instead, he's hit another 40-50-yard diag, which is impossible to control anyway.
Romero into the area, right side. Tottenham on the attack. Kulusevski, good feet. Low ball into the near post, blocked by the retreating Palhinha, and it's out for another corner to Tottenham Hotspur. 57 minutes on the clock on Talksport. It's Fulham 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Harry Kane with the only goal so far. On Talksport with Now Sports, and don't forget, with a Now Sports subscription, you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Fulham Spurs Live right now with a contract, without a contract. $11.99. Search Now Sports 18+. Here is the corner in towards the far post. It's headed by Kane over the top with a big punch from Leno, who was backpedaling into his goal, and he managed to fist that away. And Harry Kane still has to wait before he can join the 200 club.
Well, that would have been game over for me. Cleverly worked corner, overload, edge of the box. I think it's Ben Davies on the back post, heads it back to Kane. What is he, 4 yards out? You just expect to see the net ripple. I tell you what, for Harry Kane, that is a poor miss.
Corner taken from the near side this time. Another overload, another chance for Højbjerg to get it in the box. He doesn't. Instead, he goes to Kulusevski, who hoists it towards the far post. Perisic keeps it alive. Low ball into the near post, stopped by Bernd Leno. Cleared away. Big chance that for Harry Kane to
what
go
a chance.
To 200 Premier League goals. But on that occasion,
I mean, there wasn't great pace on the ball from the header back, but still, with Kane's ability and his power, you know, with his head in, I'm actually gobsmacked now that he's missed that.
Good reaction from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, but it's straight at him. I think either side it's done, isn't it?
Yep.
He'll be kicking himself, Kane.
Well, he may well get another chance before the evening is out. Here is Mitrovic into the penalty area down the left side. He's put the ball through the 6-yard box, and the oohs and the ahs are because no one else was inside the area chasing it down. He made a really good break down the left channel, centred the ball, and there was no one there to finish it off.
I'll tell you what was more worrying. Where was Lloris?
Disappeared into the crowd there. I completely lost the sight of him. He's erratic at best at the moment, is Hugo Lloris. Here is Kane down the right side, playing the ball against Anthony Robinson. It goes out of play and away for another corner over on the far side. Tottenham again just starting to ramp up those chances, but it was Pereira's delivery from the set piece. He's actually standing at the near post, Hugo Lloris, but he sort of came, didn't he?
I meant for the free kick actually bouncing that far, because Mitrovic wasn't on it that quickly. Maybe he made the right choice there, give him the benefit of doubt.
Here's the corner to be taken over on the far side. We are heading towards the hour mark, and it's played short again to Perisic, then back to Son, who's crossed into the area, is back towards the far edge of the area looking for Kane, who stumbles. He's tried to control it. He's still got hold of it, got a shot away, blocked by Tete, comes back to Bentancur. He clips the ball into the air. It's brought down by Kulusevski, puts it through the 6-yard box, stopped by Ream right on the edge of the 6-yard area, and cleared away by Willian. He tried to bend that ball around Bentancur and find Andreas Pereira. It didn't come off, and it was shepherded all the way back to the goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris, away to our right-hand side. How Fulham going to find a way back into this game?
Well, with a great deal of work, because the intensity's just dropped a little bit, which you expect after 60 minutes. The way they pressed, the amount of intensity they played with in the first half, they can't quite seem to recapture that at the moment, which is normal. Got to find some energy, keep moving the ball quickly, and keep trying to get the ball to Mitrovic when the ball goes wide.
Ream plays it wide towards Anthony Robinson, who's challenged by Emerson Royale. Goes out of play over on the far side and away for throw in to the home team in front of that Riverside stand. And Robinson, who's been an integral part of Fulham's success this season, getting up and down that left-hand side, a rampaging left-back who loves to send crosses into the box.
Yeah, he's terrific, and great energy, great desire to get forward and make things happen. Really positive.
He was good for the United States actually at the World Cup. Williams just sent a ball back towards him short. It's cut out by Tottenham and they look to build. Paulinia goes high up to try and win it on the edge of the Tottenham penalty area. They fire it clear. Kulusevski tucks it infield to Kane, but Tottenham managed to break the press and move out towards this left-hand side. The Welshman Ben Davies takes it to the halfway line. He's engaged by Harrison Reed, then turns away and gives it to Kane. Kane with a really good pass into Emerson Royale, who slides it out to the far side, the right. Tottenham on the attack with Kulusevski, moving towards the angle of the area. Crosses deep towards the far posts, and it doesn't reach Perisic. Scoots away and out and behind and away for a goal kick.
Good
Still
move.
1-0 Spurs.
Good move. Patient, and the ball into Kane. As I said, get it into him more often. He keeps it. He finds the pass. They're out. And it's Kulusevski cutting in off that right-hand side. Just over it, but not a problem. He had men in the box. He had numbers in there. Good move.
Well, Fulham will feel they're not out of this yet. Only looking at the goals against column for Tottenham will give you a little bit of encouragement. Brentford, Leicester and Nottingham Forest have kept more clean sheets than Spurs this season. Yeah, that's true. And we'll be with Nottingham Forest on Wednesday night as our coverage of the Carabao Cup semi-finals continues. Tomorrow night, Southampton, Newcastle. Nottingham Forest against Manchester United on Wednesday night. Friday night, we've got FA Cup football. It's the first of 9 live commentaries over the course of the weekend from the greatest cup competition in the world. And Manchester City against Arsenal gets us underway. It finishes with Derby West Ham on Monday night, and there's a whole host of commentaries in between. And you can listen to them all if you get the Talksport app. Here is Son in the middle of the park after Tottenham take an age over a free kick. I think, is that Tom Kearney who's getting ready over on the far side? Looks like Fulham are going to make a change as Pereira tries to nudge it on. Oh, he got caught there by Højbjerg.
That didn't look nice.
That was one of those collisions when both go for the same ball. And it was a block tackle by Højbjerg.
Yeah, I don't think he intentionally meant to hurt him there. It was just the way he just have another look at it now. Yeah, hopefully he'll be all right. He's up anyway.
Hobbling away. He said that he had to bide his time when he was at Manchester United, when he was listening to Sir Alex Ferguson, who rang him up and asked him to come over to the UK as a teenager because he found it very difficult to understand his Glaswegian accent.
Oh, no wonder.
He said he hasn't got much better, to be honest with you, over the course of the years that he's been dealing with Manchester United. Looks as if it's going to be Harrison Reed that comes off for Tom Kearney. Is it quite an aggressive substitution? Certainly in a more assertive one.
Yeah, attacking. Tom Kearney, a bit more creative, take a few more risks. Doesn't have the athleticism and tenacity of Harrison Reed.
Reed has been very good. Industrious, you would call Harrison Reed, wouldn't you? Ball has been played out towards this near side, looking for De Cordova-Reid. It's cut out by Perisic, and he tucks it out and away on this near side. Flicked in towards Reed once again. Tete with a cross into the box. Dyer heads it clear. Paulinho wins the ball in midfield and sends it back to Ream. And then it goes out towards the near side, and it's picked up by Issa Diop, who they signed from West Ham United in the summer. Fulham with controlled possession on halfway, trailing by a 1-0. Goal scored by Harry Kane, a landmark goal for him. Ream out to the far side. Robinson trying to take on Kulusevski, who does enough to put it out of play. It's away for a throw-in. And now we'll get that substitution. Tom Kearney, who has come off the bench more times than any other player in the Premier League this season, comes on to replace Harrison Reed.
Yeah, I understand the reason he plays Reed in many ways, because of what he brings with his energy, his willingness to put his foot in. But Kearney is much more gifted, much more creative. Scorer of good goals and makes goals.
Diop. He's aiming towards De Cordova-Reid, and it scoots away from him and out of play on this near side. De Cordova-Reid, who is closely associated with the area. His sister is the Labour MP for Battersea.
Wow. He's actually not had the impact he'd want to have in the game, really, especially this second half. And with, I think Daniel James is on the bench, isn't he?
Yeah.
That could be an option for them with his pace, because the last thing you need when you're tired near the end is a right winger or any winger with pace like Daniel James.
Here is Emerson Royale on the other side of the pitch, in the right wing position for Tottenham Hotspur. Played into Kulusevski, back to Bentancur. De Cordova-Reid has had to play all over the park this season. He's played 6 games at right back, 8 games at right wing, a couple of games at left wing as well. Kane, silky touch down the right channel into Kulusevski, onto Emerson Royale by the byline, who didn't really fancy getting into a committed battle with Robinson, lost the ball as a result of that. Romero has won it back for Tottenham about 10 yards in front of the centre circle, released Kane, who's trying to squeeze beyond Paulinho. There's a little swipe of a foot, but a foul is given against the England captain, and it's cleared away by Fulham towards this near side. De Cordova-Reid picks it up just short of the halfway line. Tottenham backpedaling and Fulham being urged on by their support. The orange boots of Mitrovic pick the ball up far touchline, midway inside Tottenham territory. It's on towards Kearney, back to Willian, back to Kearney again, but it's short, so Robinson has to intervene. Kearney sends it wide again, on to Willian. And the overlap was from Robinson. They didn't use it. They weren't moving the ball quick enough there, Fulham. And they get it back to Kearney, who travels forward, lends it to Willian, gets it back again, plays it out towards the left. Then Willian with a low cross in towards the near post, and Davies has to deal with it. It's only half cleared by Tottenham Hotspur. Almost comes straight back to Willian.
Good play.
Dangerous little ball.
Nice little triangle left-hand side, nice and patient. I was waiting for someone to try something. Willian's burst and then decided to go on his left because he's comfortable putting it in. Whipped it across with a bit of pace, well defended again.
You can see Antonio Conte getting a little bit more irate over on that far side. He's just getting a little bit hot-tempered. He's pointing at Bentancur, asking him to do a little bit more work. Bentancur hasn't had too many minutes since coming back from an injury which robbed him of a few matches. Just wonder whether or not he might be replaced in the not too distant future. Ring. 22 and a half minutes to go. Yeah, there's still 22 and a half minutes to go, so I'm afraid we're going to have to delay the opening hours of the sports bar tonight. Jamie O'Hara and Cundy will have to wait for us to finish here. The delay was because of transport issues, and then they delayed it again because Paul Tierney hadn't checked his batteries on his VAR equipment. So we have had a significant delay to this match. It means we're probably going to finish by the time we've done and dusted about 10:15. Ball has been sent in towards the edge of the Tottenham penalty area. It's cleared away. And then Tim Ream will take it forward into Kearney. Then Willian is coming infield. Really good tackle from Romero. Back out to Diop. There's a bit of space for Robertson on the far side. Offside flag is up. He should not have been in an offside position over on that far side, being able to see right across the line.
I'm surprised, actually. There's a few moans and groans, a bit of frustration from the Fulham supporters. They've had a great season and it doesn't always go your way. You've got to stick with the team now.
Yeah, they've had a good season, mainly because of their recruitment that's been very good, but also because Marco Silva has adapted his tactics, the flexibility to the way that the team have played. He knew he couldn't continue to play with the possession-based style that they operated with in the Championship. He was going to have to adapt for the rigours of the Premier League. He's done that, and Fulham have reaped the rewards. He was absolutely buoyant when I spoke to him down on the touchline after the Thursday night victory over Chelsea 10 days ago. He was gushing in his praise of his team and everybody that worked at the club. He was absolutely delighted. I don't think Romero's going to be delighted with the response he's going to get from Paul Tierney here. A poor tackle on Alexander Mitrovic, very high, and it's a yellow card for Romero.
I'm not sure he caught him that badly, to be honest. I mean, his foot shouldn't be that high, but we'll wait and see now on a replay. Not a great deal in it.
No, not having it.
Well, it's a foul, and these days that's a yellow, isn't it? But shock horror, he's up, he's fine.
Free kick then for Fulham, just left of the centre circle, just short of the halfway line. And Anthony Robinson And Tim Ream will exchange passes over on that far side. Pereira, Palhinha, Willian, Leno, Diop in the summer all came in through the Craven Cottage doors, and largely it seems to have worked out for Marco Silva in terms of recruitment. Mitrovic is the one he's been getting the best out of, that some couldn't get the best out of in the Premier League. He's certainly done that. He's just won the ball and he's been used as a platform from which they're trying to build here. Out to the left it goes. Pereira's attempted pass was deflected into the path of Willian, who's travelling infield. There's a bit of an overload on that left-hand side. They're bunched over on that left-hand side, the white attacking force of Kearney, Willian and Robinson. Palhinha does well to ride the challenge of Højbjerg, continues to play on, sweeps it out towards the left-hand side. It's excellent midfield play by Palhinha. Then Robinson travels up towards the left-hand side of the area, attacking the goal away to our right. Fulham here. Kearney just pulling off a little bit, then setting Robinson down the left. Across comes Emerson Royale, and he sends it into the crowd and away for a throw-in level with the edge of the box.
I'll tell you what the biggest difference is in the second half. They're getting in wide areas, Fulham, but they're not being sat off. They've got no chance to cross because Tottenham are at them. It's guaranteed that Conte would have said to them half time, you've got to stop some crosses, you've got to get in people's spaces.
Yeah, it's been a lot more difficult for them to get the ball into the area in the second half.
It's been the biggest change. They're still trying the little triangles, Fulham, but they haven't got time to get their head up and put the ball in because Tottenham are there.
Ream strides over halfway. Tottenham just sitting off Fulham and allowing them to have the ball up to the halfway line. 72 minutes on the clock. It's Fulham 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1 with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. Good ball in from Diop to Pereira. Out wide to Kenny Tese. He's crossed into the box, takes a deflection off Perisic. He claims a handball. It wasn't. It's gone out for a corner on this near side. And a chance now maybe for Fulham to construct something. Is this rickety Tottenham defence going to be able to keep out the pure force of Fulham? Attack spearheaded by 11-goal Alexander Mitrovic, who loves a London derby goal. Andreas Pereira is going to take this corner away on our right-hand side. He aims it deep towards the far post, and Ream, who goes up with Bentancur, who wins the header. The ball drops inside the box. Ream goes down. Referee waves away any protest of a penalty. They win it back on the far side, the left, with Kearney, who then gets robbed by Romero. They're tussling on that far side. Kearney emerges with the ball after a couple of turns, then loses his footing. The ball goes out of play, and it goes out for a throw-in over on the far side. And Bentancur now getting treatment for a head injury.
Yeah, he got caught, I think, defending that corner on the back post. I think it was a clash with Ream. It was overhit from Pereira, really.
Yeah, it was just a little bit too deep, wasn't it? He needed to sort of get it closer into that sort of congested area. Someone had the ability to try and launch an attack towards the ball.
Nothing in that there.
One 0 to Tottenham Hotspur, who are coming forward with Kulusevski. And Fulham's major asset, I think, over the course of the season, Danny, is that they are very rarely involved in a thrashing or even when they get beat. I mean, many of their games this season have involved very tight affairs. 80% of their matches have been settled by a 1-goal margin or ended in a draw.
Which is a really good sign, actually. I think that's a really positive stat because it means you're always in games, it means you're managing games well.
That's a little bit too difficult for Anthony Robinson to get hold of over on the far side.
The problem they've got now with Tottenham, especially when they've got the lead, Tottenham have got the lead, is they don't mind sitting in there. They don't need to come out and vacate holes. They're pressing much better, Spurs, when the ball's wide to stop the crosses. Maybe put someone, if they've got someone to go up alongside Mitrovic, that would occupy the Spurs back three a little bit more.
I was going to say to you, what would you be thinking about if you are Marco Silva? Would you be thinking about any specific change here to try and alter the course of things?
I'd be thinking of a second striker to go alongside Mitrovic, and you lose one of the central midfield three and go a bit more direct.
Cordova-Reid gone down on the near touchline. He's then got straight back up again because he's not going to get the free kick. It's gone out to Willian, far side, cuts infield, gives it to Kenny. He floats the ball towards Mitrovic with a looping header towards the far corner. It's narrowly over the top. It's narrowly over the top from Alexander Mitrovic. It was a good ball in from Kearney. He peeled off towards that back post, and he almost found the back of the net.
Down towards Wimbledon. Anyone requiring trains to central London or to North London,
it was a good set,
should make their way
decent
to
ball in
Station.
from Kearney.
athlete.
And for a man of Mitrovic's quality, he'll expect better.
Towards Wimbledon.
I just wonder whether or not they might be tempted to bring on Daniel James or Carlos Vinicius for the final 15 minutes of this game.
Vinicius, I would think. Richarlison's coming on for Son as we have a lull in play here.
Yeah, I think when they redid the Riverside Stadium, the Riverside stand, sorry, they also redid the PA system here. You might have noticed that it has a bit of power. It's quite loud. We've experienced that a couple of times when being here at Fulham this season. I think you've got the gist that all the trains from Putney Bridge are cancelled. Yeah. So everyone's going to have to go.
I've been used to loud noises going off around me while I'm working recently, so don't worry about that.
Have you? Yeah. I'm pleased you switched your phone off tonight, by the way. I know they made up this great story about it being a prank, but we know it was you, really.
Yeah. It was your message.
Damn. How did that get out? Here is Ream over towards the far side. It's collected by Anthony Robertson, and William then takes it on. I thought you were very professional. I thought you handled it well. Polina under pressure from Bentancur. Sent back towards the halfway line where it's collected by Diop. He goes further wide to Tete. And then all the way back to Diop once again. And Fulham just struggling to try and find a gap with this tightly packed Tottenham midfield and defence. They're lined up almost in a sort of 5-4-1 formation at times, which means that Kane's just standing up on the halfway line and there's just very little room for manoeuvre. And then when you give a ball away like that, you're in trouble. And Diop gave it away to Kulusevski and on to Kane, who'll protect it now and take it wide towards the right hand side. He takes on Anthony Robinson, travels into the Fulham half and then flicks himself into the air on the slightest touch from Paulinho, and it's going to be a free kick over on the far side. Paulinho is being questioned by the Tottenham players. Why is he not getting a second yellow card? Paul Tierney just waiting and gives a yellow card to Bentancur instead.
Well done, Paul Tierney. He's got players running 30 yards to get in his face to tell him to send someone off. He's more than capable of making a decision of whether that was a harsh enough second foul to give him a second yellow and a red. I think he booked two of them for running up and getting in his face.
Well, confirmation, he definitely booked Bentancur. We'll try and find out if there is another booking there. How much contact was there?
There's contact, but he's trying to win the ball. I mean, the problem is these days, any tackle, everyone wants a yellow card for.
Is that not a yellow card? I think that might be.
Why?
Because he's very late.
He's missed time a tackle, but he hardly touches him.
He touches him enough, doesn't he?
Have you seen Harry Kane play?
Are you saying that he over-elaborated there? Okay. It will be up for debate on the Sports
That's a yellow.
One.
We're going to have 3 and 4 men sent off every week. Come on.
Okay. 03717223344.
Higher bar we want.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Just any bar would do. Here on the far side, the ball with Perisic takes a free kick towards the far post, flicked away by Mitrovic. And it drops at the feet of Hojbjerg. And he can't get it beyond Kenny Tete. Goes all the way to Bentancur. Bentancur comes infield, gives it to Perisic. Perisic then plays it out towards the wide left position. Looks for Hojbjerg. He's crossed into the box. Is very high towards Dyer at the far post, who heads it down. Harry Kane chests it, swivels, shoots towards goal. It's a good 5 or 6 yards wide, and it goes behind and away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. There's 11 minutes to go. Substitution for Fulham. Kenny Tete coming off. And they're going to make another change. That Manor Solomon is going to come on. I think it is.
Winger.
Good opportunity for Harry Kane that went narrowly wide of the post.
And coming on, number 11, Manor Solomon.
Yeah, so Solomon comes on and Tete goes off. So are they going to shift things around? No, Reed is going to go to right back.
Yeah.
Because Solomon is very much a attacking player. Tom Kenny's now got the captain's armband on. He's just reading a note from Marco Silva. And it's going to be a little tactical shift maybe for Fulham, and instruction to get the ball forward slightly quicker possibly.
No, I think the system looks the same at the moment. I'd be looking at Vinicius and getting him on alongside. I really would, just to just go.
I'd love to know what was on that piece of paper.
That was his takeaway order for later. Half a crispy duck.
Here is Richarlison down the left-hand side. The ball is out of play on this near side. Crispy duck and pancakes.
Ooh, sounds good right now, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I love a crispy duck.
Hey, it's dribbling.
Yeah. The way we're going, though, we probably need a whole one.
Yeah, true.
Quarter wouldn't do for us, I don't think. 10 minutes to go before the end of the game. It's Fulham 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. The goal coming from Harry Kane just before half-time. Cleared away by Paulinho. Do you think Paulinho stayed on the pitch because Bentancur went up towards Poltini and started shouting in his face and actually wanted to say, hold on a second, I'll make the decision?
Maybe. It could have changed his mind in the instant. Yeah, it's a good point. I think also if you know your players as well, Kane did go over a little bit dramatically.
Richarlison works it out towards the left and Perisic. Bentancur, who was the guilty party in that situation, he was the one gobbing off.
I think he booked 2 of them.
We're trying to get confirmation on that.
Oh, okay.
The ball is over on the far side with Kulusevski, and then it goes infield towards the near post. It's played out towards the halfway line, and then it's picked up by Ben Davies, and then it goes infield via Højbjerg on towards Bentancur once again. And Tottenham now just keeping hold of the ball, maintaining possession, pushing it around amongst themselves.
It's good. Good management of the game, nice and calm. Their senior players taking control of the ball, he says.
They give it away out towards the far side. It's picked up now by Willian, who travels down the touchline. He faces up 2 or 3 players, and again, there's no dynamism in the attack coming forward. They're just being a little bit patient. Pereira gets a flick on the ball, but it's nothing significant. It goes into the air and through to Hugo Lloris. So let me tell you about the latest odds from Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Fulham to go on and win the game at 45-1. Tottenham are 13-2 on to secure all 3 points. The draw is 5-1. It's all thanks to Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com, 18+, begambleaware.org. It's currently Fulham 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. It does have the feeling of a game that's sort of petering out a little bit because Tottenham are trying to make it that way.
Yeah, well, it's game management doing it well, and Fulham have lost a bit of energy and zip, which is understandable because what they put in the first half.
Here goes Robinson down the left-hand side, though, skating forward at pace and then playing the ball out to the left and giving it away cheaply. It's out for a throw-in. It's a bit of a celebrity haunt, this. I know that we've got you here, which obviously increases the number of A-listers. But last week when I was here, I saw sitting in front of me in that seat just there, and it is vacant tonight, so it makes me think maybe a season ticket is in his grasp. Hugh Grant was here. Yeah. And tonight, up in the cottage, Michael McIntyre is here. Yeah.
Ooh.
He's in the house. Kulusevski played him down the right-hand side, and it was just a little bit too heavy for him. Couldn't control it. Goes out of play. Good interception in the end from Diop.
Are you intimating that there's a certain type of person that supports Fulham? Was that where you were going?
Well, I just gave you the information.
Oh, okay.
But maybe you're right. Are you saying it's a rich celebrity crowd that come here? It's exclusive.
Don't put words in my mouth.
That's probably why they can charge £100 to sit in that bottom tier over there.
Is that what it is?
So I've been told. It was for the first game anyway against Liverpool. I remember seeing the pricing structure. Did a big piece on it on the Sunday session. Here is Richarlison over by the corner flag. Fulham trailing by 1-0 here at Craven Cottage. Always a great place to come, though. One of my favourite grounds to come to. Right. It really is. Just walking in where we are in this Johnny Haynes stand, the old weldy stand. He's sort of got all of the whitewashed walls. It's still very low ceilings. Here is Richarlison over on the far side, trying to guide the ball out towards the far touchline. There's a challenge from Paulinho. Goes out for a throw-in off Richarlison for Fulham, who have got 6 minutes to find a way back into this game. And Tottenham Hotspur have got 6 minutes to hold on to get a victory. They need a victory. They went and got one at Selhurst Park the other week. That was important for them. And they would love to get one here in another London derby, which would push them up the table. They need to get pushed up the table after what has been a very difficult period for Tottenham Hotspur. And they will go closer to Manchester United, who still have a game in hand over Tottenham. Should Tottenham win today, the gap may well be tightened up a little bit. But Tottenham have the opportunity to
naughty that
put a bit of pressure on them. There was a late challenge on the halfway line on Mitrovic, and it looked really sore.
Yeah.
Tottenham are going to make a change. Basuma is getting stripped and ready for action, although they then changed their mind. He's put his big coat on again now.
He must be frustrated, Basuma, because Tottenham haven't been playing brilliantly in the last couple of months.
No.
And, all season really, apart from the decent little start they had. They've flattered to deceive, and he's hardly got any game time.
Yeah, he hasn't, no. He really hasn't. It just makes you wonder again, doesn't it? You know, whether or not it was an Antonio Conte signing or whether he was a Paratici signing.
Because
of course,
I saw Sarr started a couple of weeks ago ahead of him, didn't he?
In the North London derby,
yeah.
his first start for Tottenham.
That's right. Against one of the best midfielders in the Premier League at the moment.
So strange. So very, very strange. Tottenham can go within 3 points of Manchester United with a victory here today. Fulham hoping to go above them, but they'd have to win to do that. There's a real problem here for Alexander Mitrovic, and that is, at the moment, causing concern to the Fulham medical staff. They are about to bring on Carlos Vinicius, who did have a spell at Tottenham on loan from Benfica not so long ago. He scored 9 goals in 13 cup games, but the bulk of those were away at Marine. So,
yes, that's true. I saw that game.
Yeah, I was
struggling, Mitrovic, going off.
Yeah, he is.
That was a naughty tackle. I don't know if it was mistimed from Dyer. I've only seen the replay once, but it was...
They've been involved in a running battle all night, haven't they, really?
Yeah.
Oof, it doesn't look great. They would not like to lose him. Although saying that, they did beat Chelsea here without him 10 days ago.
They did, and he played well, Vinicius.
Yeah, he did. And not often known for his great goal-scoring record. His first goal for Fulham came in that match against Chelsea a week or so ago. He signed for £4.5 million from Benfica, and I think he's actually initially going to come on for William.
Do you know what, actually, I'm surprised. I was thinking it earlier and didn't actually say it, but with the drop in energy, last 25 minutes really, Fulham haven't been able to penetrate Tottenham at all. With the option of the subs they now have, I don't know why we don't see more substitutions. A lot of the games we're still not seeing. Some you do, of course. You do see a lot in certain games or from certain teams. But generally, I don't think managers are yet using the full quota often enough.
Well, Cordova-Reid has come off, and so has Willian, and Carlos Vinicius has come on, and so has Harry Wilson for the final few moments of this game. There's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds plus injury time to play. Mitrovic has come back on, by the way, and seems to be okay. It's going to be a throw-in on this near side to be taken by Andreas Pereira, who is going to try and launch this into the box, maybe. And he's not really got the propensity to do that. He has then thrust it towards Carlos Vinicius. Palhinha has won it. Palhinha on the right side of the Tottenham box. Harry Wilson, Pereira into the area, looking for Vinicius, who sets it back towards Kenny. There's a bit of space on the far side, the left. It's flicked in towards the far post by Solomon, and it just skips away in front of the goalkeeper, who has to get a little nick on it to turn it round the post, and it's a good chance for Manuel Solomon, who with his right foot arced the ball towards the far post, and well, he had to be alert there. Hugo Lloris is a corner.
Wasn't enough pace on it, was it? Decent save.
Here is the corner to be taken on this near side, to be taken by Andreas Pereira. Here goes the corner towards the far post, header by Mitrovic. It took a little deflection. They're going to try and stop this from going for a corner. Spurs. Højbjerg hoisting it away on this near side. The PA system going through the Transport for London rap sheet once again, and the crowd getting a little bit hurt that they did that just before Fulham were taking a corner, because it sort of not killed the move, but it just stopped them from being able to get up. Harry Wilson almost causing his team a bit of grief. He's given the ball away on the halfway line, and then the Fulham player Manuel Solomon, was it Solomon who's got, no, it's Anthony Robinson, who's gone down on the edge of the centre circle, went sliding in to stop the breakaway and got kicked in the head, and
it stemmed from Wilson going backwards instead of putting the ball in.
It did.
You're near the end of the game. You've got to risk the ball going in. Take a risk. Someone always passing the responsibility for somebody else to take the risk.
He just got a knee in the head, actually.
Yeah,
Anthony Robinson from Kulusevski, as he slid in to try and stop the breakaway. That looked a little bit painful, didn't it? Oof. And they have to take care to make sure that he is okay. They can make a concussion substitute. Haven't decided to do that just yet. Kulusevski is coming off, and on comes Yves Bissouma just to stiffen up that midfield for the final few minutes of the game, final few seconds of the game. We've got 6 minutes of added time at the end of the 90. And I wonder whether or not there's still one more chance for Fulham to try and rescue something from this game. There's still 6 minutes of added time to play. Tottenham Hotspur in front, thanks to a goal scored by Harry Kane on the halfway mark of the match. There's been another collision in the centre circle, and the referee actually probably needed to give that uncontested drop ball back to Tottenham a little bit further back, because what happened was he handed the ball back to Tottenham right in the centre of the pitch, in a congested area. Immediately 2 players went towards it, they fought for the ball, and Hotspur got smashed into by Paulinho, who's now had 4 chances after being booked.
Yeah, I think he's rolling over to try and avoid the yellow, I think.
Well, if he stays on the field now, he'd be very lucky, I think, because he's had several.
Well, that's his second. What did you say, 4? He's only been 2.
He's had a couple of others as well.
The one on Kane and that one, I don't remember any others. But you're right. I mean, there are some refs he'd be off by now.
Well, I wonder whether or not that will be a bone of contention from Antonio Conte after the game. Paulinho is expressing what he feels is his innocence to Hotspur. Both players go off the pitch and we start again. Referee had a bit of responsibility in that, though, by putting the ball into a congested area. Just go back a little bit further, give the ball back to someone and say, right, play from there. Unnecessary. Here is Romero. The game's gone on and on and on. It's 12 minutes past 10. Here is Romero out towards the near side. It's collected by Kane into Richarlison. Richarlison with a back heel onto Perisic, who gets down to the corner flag, produces a cross into the box. It's headed away by Robinson. Then Bissouma tries to set the ball into the path of Bentancur. It's broken up by Tottenham, by Fulham, but it's won back by Hotspur. Right side, darts into the penalty area. Terrible ball back to the edge of the box when Richarlison and Harry Kane were waiting, and now Pereira is trying to get it clear. He manages to get it into the feet of Kearney. Didn't release it quick enough, and then stumbled and then lost it and dived in. He can't quite believe it because Wilson had made such a good run down the right hand side, but he didn't manage to have the composure to release the ball out to this near touchline. If he had done, there would have been a real chance for Fulham to go on the attack. Perisic trotting over towards the near side. We played 3 minutes of added time at the end of the 90. Perisic tossing the ball down the touchline looking for Kane. It's over his head. It'll flow straight out of play and go away for a goal kick. A goal kick which Bernd Leno will take. Will he kick it long? Will he launch it upfield? Get Fulham on the attack, or is he going to hesitate? Looks like he is now going to wait for all of his white shirts to charge into the opponent's territory. It's going to be hit long, high into the night sky by Bernd Leno. It's flicked by Eric Dyer away from Mitrovic.
Go again. It's got to go again.
Ream hesitates, won't put it forward. Diop back to Leno. Now they've got to kick it long. Harry Kane is going to close down the former Arsenal goalkeeper. It does go long up towards Mitrovic, who gets on the end of it this time. Vinicius trying to do that too. It comes through to Kearney, who works it wide to Solomon. Solomon now on the left edge of the area, being tracked by Bissouma. He's on the left side, attacking the goal away to our right. Fulham trying to find an equaliser in stoppage time at the end of the 90. We're into the 4th minute now. Diop on the right side is Harry Wilson. He's being tracked by Perisic. Tottenham doing very well to harass and harry the Fulham players and stop them from getting crosses from there into the box.
Just come from there. No time to be going side to side. Someone's got to take a risk. That's it.
Solomon in towards the edge of the penalty area. Paulinho trying to scoop it over the top of a defender. It's put away by Emerson Royale, and it goes out for a throw-in level with the edge of the Tottenham box. Is there going to be one last chance here to try and grab an equalising goal for Fulham Football Club? Desperate to try and ensure that they don't suffer back-to-back defeats after such a good run. The ball is headed out of the penalty area. Back in by Pereira. Away by Romero. Ream tosses it out towards the near side. Perisic goes up with Wilson. Heads it out of play. It's away for a Fulham throw. Wilson wants it quickly. Dispatched by the ball boy into his arms. It goes back to halfway and Ream. And now onto Anthony Robinson in the centre circle, who elevates the ball out towards this near side. It's congested for Wilson. He takes on Richarlison. Now he's got to get past Perisic. He can't get past Perisic. And Palhinha has to come across and stop a potential of a break, and that may well be the last chance they get.
Not sure why he's trying to dribble the ball there. Why don't you just touch it and put it into the box? Oh, dear God.
Well, Romero, the latest complaint of an ailment, which is, again, meaning there is another pause in play. I think Tottenham maybe being accused of running the clock down here. Mitrovic not happy about it. Certainly it appears that way. The Sports Bar, by the way, is coming very shortly with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. 03717 2233 44 is the number to call if you want to speak to them. If you're a Tottenham fan relieved at 3 points, if you're a Fulham fan frustrated, let us know what you think. The Sports Bar open for business in just a few minutes. And I must say, we are going to try and squeeze in Antonio Conte and Alexander Mitrovic into the Sports Bar, but by the time we end up getting to the end of this game and the interviews on air, it may well be an extra time after 1 o'clock in the morning. Here is Pereira on the right side. Diop sends it to the edge of the box. It's scalped away by Perisic towards halfway. Brought down by Tim Ream. Anthony Robinson rushed by Bentancur. The ball goes back towards Ream. He clips it forward in towards Mitrovic. Heads it down. Falls to Vinicius inside the area. Emerson Royale comes back and robs it off his toes. What a chance that was. What great defending by Emerson Royale.
All direct balls to two front players. He should have come on 15-20 minutes ago.
Anthony Robinson into the box, blocked by Kane as it comes back out. We've played 6 minutes and 30 seconds of the 6 that are supposed to be added, but we have had delays since then. Pereira being pushed back by Højbjerg. He's got nowhere to go. Ream makes an angle for him. Robertson wants it left side. There's the full-time whistle. Tottenham celebrate. Eric Dyer clenches his fist and thrusts it to the floor. Harry Kane runs away knowing that his goal is the pivotal moment in a game in which Tottenham really struggled in the first half, but managed to get the goal that gave them a platform from which to build just before half-time, and they went on in the second to secure all 3 points. Shrouded in uncertainty, floundering for form, but Tottenham Hotspur come to Fulham and pick up a vital win. It's only their 4th victory in 11 Premier League matches, but it might be the confidence boost that allows Antonio Conte to, as he said yesterday, dream of something important. Whatever happens over the next few months, Fulham will play Premier League football next season. They already have more points than last time they were in the Premier League, and they have played half the matches. But they will be disappointed that they didn't test Hugo Lloris more in that second 45. It's finished. Fulham 0, Tottenham 1.
Harry Kane, the